Have you ever felt like you're forcing things, struggling to make progress, or pushing against resistance at every turn? It's exhausting, right? The truth is, life doesn't have to be that way. What if you could make everything flow to you with ease, without forcing anything? The secret is simpler than you think: being silent. When you stop talking so much, stop explaining yourself, and let your actions speak for you, you create space for what you want to come to you naturally. In this video, I'm going to show you how silence can become your most powerful tool. I'm not just talking about staying quiet in conversations. I'm talking about silencing the noise in your mind, silencing the distractions, and creating a space for clarity, focus, and effortless progress. You'll learn how to channel your energy in a way that doesn't waste it on unnecessary noise. You'll discover the power of quieting your inner world so you can make better decisions, build deeper connections, and move toward your goals without struggle. No more forcing outcomes. No more spinning your wheels. You'll start to see that when you embrace silence, everything else will begin to flow toward you with ease. Ready to learn how? Keep watching, because what you're about to hear could change everything for you. Chapter 1. Start each day with clear, focused intention and purpose. Every morning holds a new opportunity. It's the beginning of another day, another chance to shape your life, move closer to your goals, and create the future you desire. Yet, far too often, we wake up and get caught in the whirlwind of life, responding to messages, attending to urgent tasks, and reacting to whatever comes our way. We allow ourselves to be swept along by the tide of external circumstances, never truly in control of the direction we're headed. This is where the power of starting each day with clear, focused intention and purpose comes in. It's a practice that may sound simple, yet it's one of the most transformative habits you can develop in your life. When you wake up with a sense of purpose, everything shifts. The way you approach your day, the decisions you make, and the energy you bring to every task will change. Instead of wandering aimlessly, you'll move with intention, direction, and strength. Think of the most successful people in the world. Whether they're entrepreneurs, athletes, or leaders, one common thread is their ability to start each day with a clear sense of what they want to achieve. They don't leave their day to chance. They design it. And the best part, this isn't something reserved for a select few. This is something available to everyone, starting right now, with the simple yet powerful practice of setting clear intentions. To begin with, intention isn't just about having a goal in mind. It's about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with a purpose that drives you. It's about waking up and deciding how you want to show up in the world before the distractions and demands of life have the chance to pull you in different directions. It's about mastering your mindset before the world tries to master you. The first step in starting each day with clear intention is creating a morning routine that centers you. A morning routine isn't just a collection of tasks to check off. It's a time for you to ground yourself, align your thoughts, and set your energy for the day ahead. The most successful people in the world all have one thing in common: they wake up early and they have a set routine. This doesn't mean you need to wake up at 4 a.m. like some high achievers, but it does mean you need to create a routine that works for you and sets the tone for the day. Start by waking up a little earlier than usual. Giving yourself an extra 30 minutes or even an hour in the morning to focus solely on yourself can be life-changing. Use this time to engage in practices that calm your mind and set your intentions. Meditation, journaling, deep breathing exercises, or simply sitting in silence can all help to center your mind before the world starts demanding your attention. This quiet time is essential for mental clarity and emotional balance. Journaling is a particularly powerful tool for setting intention. Each morning, take a few minutes to write down what you want to accomplish for the day. It's not just about listing tasks, it's about setting a clear intention for how you want to show up in each situation. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? What mindset do I want to carry with me? This reflection helps create a sense of purpose and direction, transforming a chaotic day into one filled with focus and intention. Alongside journaling, develop a practice of prioritizing. One of the most common reasons people get caught in the trap of an unproductive day is that they haven't clearly defined what matters most. Without clear priorities, it's easy to get distracted by tasks that seem urgent but aren't important. When you wake up with intention, you're not just reacting to what's in front of you, you're proactively choosing what's truly worth your time and energy. Take a moment each morning to identify your top 3 priorities for the day. These should be tasks that align with your bigger goals and vision for your life. Whether it's working on a project, making a critical phone call, or exercising to take care of your body, focus on what will move you forward. By narrowing your focus to just a few key actions, you avoid feeling overwhelmed and scattered throughout the day. In addition to focusing on tasks, set a clear intention for your energy. Every interaction you have, every decision you make, is influenced by the energy you bring into it. When you start your day with purpose, you infuse everything you do with a sense of meaning and drive. If you approach your work with the intention of giving your best, your energy will shift. If you approach your relationships with the intention of being kind and present, your interactions will improve. Think of your energy as a currency. It's limited, so you need to decide where you want to invest it. Do you want to waste it on negativity, frustration, or procrastination? Or do you want to channel it into things that matter, things that align with your values and goals? The choice is yours, but it starts with intention. When you wake up with purpose, you automatically begin to invest your energy wisely. Another critical element of starting your day with intention is taking care of your body. Your physical health is the foundation for everything else in your life. If you're tired, sluggish, or unwell, your ability to focus and perform at your best is compromised. That's why your morning routine should also include physical activity. It doesn't have to be a rigorous workout. Just a few minutes of stretching, yoga, or even a brisk walk can help wake up your body and energize you for the day ahead. As you focus on your body, don't forget about your mind. The mindset you cultivate in the morning will set the tone for how you approach challenges and setbacks throughout the day. One of the most powerful tools for cultivating a positive and resilient mindset is affirmations. These are simple positive statements that help reprogram your mind and shift your focus to what's possible. Take a moment each morning to repeat a few affirmations, such as "I am capable," "I am focused," or "I am worthy of success." Repeating these words daily reinforces a mindset of self-belief and confidence. Now let's take a look at the power of visualization. Visualization is a practice used by some of the most successful people in the world. It involves imagining yourself achieving your goals, seeing the success you desire, and feeling the emotions associated with that success. Visualization is more than just daydreaming. It's about creating a clear mental image of what you want to achieve and aligning your actions with that vision. Take a few minutes each morning to close your eyes and visualize your ideal day. See yourself moving through your tasks with focus and energy. Imagine yourself handling challenges with grace and composure. Picture yourself achieving your goals and feeling the satisfaction of progress. By visualizing success, you mentally prepare yourself to make it a reality. Throughout the day, it's important to revisit your intentions and stay aligned with your purpose. It's easy to get distracted by the noise of everyday life, but when you start each day with intention, you can check in with yourself throughout the day to ensure you're still on track. When you face a difficult decision or encounter a setback, ask yourself, does this align with my intention for the day? This simple question will help you stay focused and grounded, no matter what comes your way. Remember that every day is a new beginning. Even if you didn't start the day with intention, you can always reset. The key is to develop the habit of regularly checking in with yourself and resetting your energy and focus. This practice of reflection and recalibration is what will keep you on the path of growth and progress. The results of starting each day with clear, focused intention and purpose will not be immediate. You won't transform your life overnight, but over time you will begin to notice profound changes. Your mindset will shift. You will become more focused, more productive, and more in control of your life. You'll develop a deeper sense of clarity, confidence, and resilience. And most importantly, you'll begin to flow through life with purpose, moving closer to your goals every single day. Success is not a matter of luck, it's a matter of intention. Every great achievement begins with a clear sense of purpose. It's a choice, and it's a practice. Starting each day with intention is the first step toward creating the life you want. It's not always easy, and it won't always feel natural at first, but the more you practice, the more effortless it will become. The world will still throw challenges your way, but with clear intention, you'll be ready to face them head-on. So take control of your mornings, set your intentions, and watch how everything flows to you effortlessly. You are the creator of your life. The power lies within you to shape each day according to your vision and purpose. And it starts every morning with the simple act of setting clear, focused intention. Chapter 2. Embrace discomfort as the gateway to lasting growth. Growth happens when you step outside the comfort zone. It's uncomfortable, it's messy, and it often feels like you're on the edge of your limits. But that's exactly where you need to be. In fact, the more uncomfortable you feel, the more potential you have to grow. When you choose discomfort over comfort, you're choosing to build strength, resilience, and the ability to rise no matter what life throws at you. Imagine the moment when everything seems impossible, when your body, your mind, your spirit are all telling you to stop. That's the very moment you need to lean in. That's the moment you need to remind yourself, this is the exact place where transformation happens. Embrace it. Discomfort is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. The world will always try to tell you to avoid pain, avoid challenge, but the true path to growth lies in running towards it. Let's face it, most people want the easy route. They want the quick fix, the instant gratification, the path with the least resistance. But the truth is, that path doesn't lead anywhere meaningful. It doesn't lead to strength, and it doesn't lead to mastery. If you want to truly develop yourself, if you want to transform your life, you need to start embracing discomfort in all its forms. Whether it's physical, emotional, or mental, discomfort is your greatest ally on the road to greatness. The sooner you learn this, the sooner you will become unstoppable. Every single moment of discomfort is an opportunity to grow. Whether you're pushing yourself to lift that heavier weight, diving into that difficult conversation you've been avoiding, or making the hard decisions that force you to stretch, you are creating the foundation for something far greater than the temporary unease you feel in the moment. The ability to handle discomfort is what separates the average from the extraordinary. It's what turns people who dream into people who do. The discomfort you feel when you face challenges is not a sign of weakness. It's the opposite. It's a sign of strength building inside you. It's your body, your mind, your spirit telling you that you are expanding. Every time you make the choice to endure discomfort, to keep pushing when you feel like quitting, you're creating a version of yourself that can achieve things others can only dream of. Think of it like a muscle. Muscles grow when they're under strain. The more strain, the stronger the muscle becomes. The more strain you put on your character, your resolve, and your perseverance, the stronger you become. Discomfort is the strain that builds your mental and emotional muscle. The more you seek it out, the more resilient and powerful you become. But here's the key. It's not about seeking out discomfort for the sake of suffering. It's about embracing discomfort as a tool for growth. It's about knowing that through discomfort, you will learn lessons that ease and comfort could never teach you. When you push through pain, fear, doubt, or frustration, you open the door to a new level of strength that you could never access through the comfort of the familiar. To grow, you have to be willing to do what others aren't. You have to be willing to sit with discomfort, to face it head-on, and to realize that it's the very thing that will set you apart. It's about making the decision that no matter what, you will move through the discomfort and toward the person you are destined to become. You won't find growth in the moments when things are easy. You'll find it in the struggle, in the grind, and in the moments when you feel like giving up, but choose to keep going anyway. When you think of the most successful people you admire, ask yourself, what have they mastered? It's not their talent. It's not their luck. It's their ability to withstand discomfort. The successful know that discomfort isn't a wall, it's a doorway. A doorway that leads to higher achievement, deeper self-awareness, and the kind of results that people will admire. They don't shy away from hard work. They don't avoid challenges. They lean into them. They embrace them, knowing that every challenge faced and overcome is another step closer to mastery. Your journey toward lasting growth must start with this mindset shift. Discomfort is not something to be feared. It's something to be welcomed. It's not a signal to retreat. It's a signal to push forward. Every time you feel uncomfortable, take a moment to remind yourself that this is the very feeling that leads to transformation. Every time you feel like giving up, know that the greatest growth comes when you decide to keep going. Start today by identifying the discomforts in your life that you've been avoiding. It might be a tough conversation you've been putting off, a decision you've been avoiding because it's difficult, or a challenge you're hesitant to face because it scares you. These discomforts are your teachers. They're your gateways to becoming the best version of yourself. Take small steps. You don't have to tackle everything at once. If the discomfort feels overwhelming, break it down into manageable parts. If it's a tough conversation, don't put it off. Step into it. If it's a physical challenge, don't think about how hard it is. Just take the next step. Whether you're training your body, your mind, or your emotions, remember this: every time you choose discomfort, you are conditioning yourself to become more resilient. You're training yourself to handle more, to take on bigger challenges, and to emerge victorious, no matter how tough things get. Discomfort in the form of fear is often the greatest barrier we face. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of rejection. These are the discomforts that paralyze so many people. But the only way to defeat fear is to face it head-on. When you push through fear, you not only grow stronger, but you also strip away the power fear holds over you. Each time you challenge fear, you become more fearless. Remember this: growth isn't a straight line. There will be setbacks. There will be times when you feel like you've taken 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. Every time you push through discomfort, you're building resilience that will carry you through even the most challenging times. Discomfort is a signal that you're on the right path. The more you embrace it, the more you will realize that growth never happens in comfort. True growth happens when you face your fears, your doubts, and your discomforts with courage and resolve. It's not about avoiding challenges, it's about stepping into them, knowing that each one brings you closer to the person you are meant to be. So, embrace discomfort. Run towards it, not away from it. Seek it out, not because you're trying to suffer, but because you know that it's the only way to evolve. Each uncomfortable moment is a victory in disguise. It's a moment where you're becoming stronger, more capable, and more powerful than you were the day before. And that's where the real growth happens. That's where the magic is. Chapter 3. Challenge your limits daily to build mental toughness. The strength of your mind is built the same way as the strength of your body. It's not forged in moments of comfort, but in times of challenge. If you're not pushing yourself, you're not growing. Every challenge you face, every limit you push, is an opportunity to build the mental toughness that will carry you through life's toughest moments. Mental toughness isn't a trait some people are born with. It's developed over time, through daily, consistent challenges that stretch you to your limits. Imagine for a moment that every day is an opportunity to grow stronger. Each choice you make, each step you take, is either pushing you closer to your mental edge or keeping you stuck where you are. We're all capable of far more than we realize, but in order to unlock that potential, we need to constantly challenge ourselves. We need to seek discomfort, stretch beyond what feels easy, and approach each day with the mindset that no obstacle is too big, no challenge too hard. You're not going to build mental toughness by taking the easy route. You're going to build it by embracing the discomfort that comes with pushing your limits. It's about doing what others won't do, and doing it every single day. It's about finding the edge of your comfort zone, and then stepping just beyond it, knowing that's where growth lives. The first step in building mental toughness is understanding that discomfort is not the enemy. It's the tool that will shape you into someone capable of handling life's difficulties with calm, clarity, and strength. Every time you challenge your limits, you are conditioning your mind to withstand adversity. You are training your mind to rise above the noise, to stay focused, and to keep going even when every part of you wants to quit. And in doing so, you forge a resilience that can't be broken. If you want to see change in your life, it's not going to come from taking the same steps you've always taken. It's going to come from stepping up to the plate, facing challenges head-on, and choosing to push your boundaries every single day. Each day is a new opportunity to test what you're capable of. And when you do this consistently, you start to realize that the things that once seemed impossible are now within your grasp. But it's not enough to just challenge yourself occasionally. True mental toughness is built through daily, small efforts that add up over time. It's not the big, dramatic moments of success that make you mentally strong. It's the countless, seemingly insignificant decisions you make each day that shape your character. It's about waking up every day and deciding that you will do what's hard, even when it's easier to do nothing. It's about pushing yourself to go just a little bit further, even when you think you can't. Think about your mental limits for a moment. Where do you typically draw the line? Where do you tell yourself that enough is enough, that you can't go any further? This is where your work begins. The truth is, your limits are not set in stone. They're not as rigid as you think. The only reason you stop is because you've told yourself that you've reached the end. But the more you challenge those limits, the more you'll realize that they're constantly shifting. As you push them further, you'll find that your capacity for endurance grows, and what once seemed impossible becomes your new baseline. One of the most powerful ways to challenge your limits is to set goals that scare you. If your goals don't make you uncomfortable, then they're not big enough. Set goals that force you to grow, that demand more of you than you thought you had to give. Whether it's a physical challenge, a professional milestone, or a personal development goal, choose something that requires you to stretch beyond your current capabilities. You don't grow by doing what you already know how to do. You grow by doing things that push you, that force you to confront your fears and doubts head on. It's easy to get comfortable with where you are. It's easy to settle into routines that keep you in your comfort zone, but nothing extraordinary happens in the comfort zone. If you want to create extraordinary results, you have to embrace the discomfort that comes with pushing yourself beyond what feels safe and easy. You have to be willing to fail, to stumble, and to keep going, even when things don't go according to plan. Because failure isn't the end, it's part of the process. Every time you fail, you learn. Every time you hit a wall, you have an opportunity to find a new way forward. Another critical component of building mental toughness is developing the ability to stay calm under pressure. Life is going to throw challenges at you, some small, some big, but it's not the challenges themselves that define you, it's how you respond to them. Mental toughness is about maintaining your composure, no matter what happens. It's about staying focused on the task at hand, even when the pressure is mounting. The more you challenge yourself in high-pressure situations, the better you get at handling stress. You start to develop the ability to stay clear-headed and composed, even when everything around you is chaotic. To build this kind of mental toughness, you need to start intentionally seeking out challenges that push you into discomfort. This can take many forms. You could challenge yourself physically by pushing harder in your workouts, running further than you think you can, or lifting heavier weights. You could challenge yourself mentally by taking on difficult tasks at work, learning new skills, or tackling problems that stretch your intellect. You could challenge yourself emotionally by confronting difficult conversations or dealing with situations that require you to be vulnerable. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to build a new layer of strength. One key practice in building mental toughness is learning to silence the inner critic. Every time you push yourself to the limit, that voice inside your head will tell you to stop. It will tell you that you're not strong enough, not smart enough, or not capable enough. But the more you ignore that voice and keep going, the weaker it becomes. You stop listening to the doubts and start listening to your inner strength instead. This is how you develop the resilience to keep going, even when everything inside you is telling you to quit. As you challenge your limits, you will encounter resistance. This resistance is a natural part of growth. It's the part of you that wants to stay in the comfort zone, the part that fears failure and uncertainty. But you must understand that this resistance is not something to be feared, it's something to be welcomed. It's the sign that you're pushing yourself to a new level. When you face resistance, you know you're on the right track. Building mental toughness requires persistence. It's not something you develop overnight. It's built over time through consistent effort, through the daily grind, through the small actions you take each day to push your limits. It's about showing up every day, no matter how you feel, and doing the work. And when you do this over and over again, you'll notice something incredible happening. You'll notice that your limits begin to expand. You'll notice that the things that once seemed difficult are now easy. You'll notice that you've become someone who can handle anything life throws at you. To truly build mental toughness, you must embrace the process. The process of growth is rarely smooth or linear. It's filled with ups and downs, successes and failures, challenges and setbacks. But it's the process that builds the strength you need to achieve greatness. Every small victory you achieve, every challenge you overcome, adds to the foundation of mental toughness you're building. So start challenging yourself today. Set goals that scare you. Push your limits, even when it feels uncomfortable. Don't avoid failure. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Your mental toughness will grow stronger with each challenge you face, and soon you'll be able to handle whatever life throws your way with unwavering confidence and resilience. Chapter 4. Develop the habit of learning something new every day. The key to growth lies in your ability to learn something new every single day. When you make learning a habit, you open the door to a world of endless possibilities. Imagine what you could achieve if every day you took in new knowledge, new skills, and new ways of thinking. The small effort of learning something new each day compounds over time, transforming you into a person of constant evolution, someone who is always moving forward, never stagnant. Learning is not a passive process. It's an active choice, a daily commitment. Every time you choose to expand your knowledge, you're not just gaining information, you're building a mindset of growth. You're telling yourself, I am capable of more, and with each new piece of learning, you affirm that belief. The person who dedicates themselves to learning will always find opportunities where others see obstacles. Knowledge is power, but it's only powerful when you actively seek it. The world we live in is constantly changing, evolving at a pace that can sometimes feel overwhelming. But it's not about keeping up with every single trend or trying to master everything at once. It's about committing to a mindset of continual improvement. By setting aside time each day to learn something new, you're developing the discipline to keep pace with the world's shifts, equipping yourself with the tools needed to navigate the complexities of life. Each new concept you learn gives you more clarity, more options, and more confidence in your ability to solve problems, think critically, and act decisively. You may think you're too busy to learn something new every day, but the reality is that learning doesn't have to take hours. It doesn't even have to be formal or structured. It can be a small effort, reading an article, watching a documentary, listening to a podcast, or simply asking questions. Learning is everywhere, you just need to be intentional about it. Every moment is an opportunity to absorb new information, to gain insights, or to develop a skill that will serve you in the future. The beauty of learning is that it can be woven into your everyday life. If you commit to making learning a part of your routine, you'll be amazed at how quickly the information starts to stack up. Over time, you will develop a vast toolkit of knowledge, ready to be applied in various aspects of your life. Whether it's at work, in your personal life, or in your creative pursuits, the more you learn, the better equipped you'll be to handle any challenge that comes your way. But it's not just about the knowledge you accumulate, it's about the person you become in the process. When you choose to learn every day, you become a person who sees opportunities instead of limitations. You become someone who is constantly adapting, constantly growing, and constantly improving. This mindset of lifelong learning is the key to staying relevant, staying sharp, and staying ahead. It keeps you from falling into the trap of complacency, from accepting the status quo, and from believing that you've already learned all there is to know. Each time you engage in learning, you are investing in your future self. Knowledge doesn't just stay with you in a passive state. It evolves, it expands, and it shapes your actions. What you learn today will influence the decisions you make tomorrow, the actions you take next week, and the opportunities you seize in the future. The habit of daily learning is not something that delivers immediate results. It's a long-term investment, and like any investment, its value grows over time. Think about the people who have achieved extraordinary things. They didn't do so by relying on what they already knew. They constantly sought out new ideas, new experiences, and new ways of thinking. They never stopped learning, and that's what sets them apart from the rest. They understood that to grow, they needed to keep pushing the boundaries of their knowledge. They understood that learning was not just something you do in school, it's something you do for life. You can start small. You don't need to dedicate hours every day to study. Begin by carving out a few minutes each day to learn something new, whether it's through reading, listening, or watching something that broadens your perspective. Gradually, you'll start to see how much more you know and how much more you're capable of. As you develop the habit, you'll begin to seek out learning opportunities in places you never would have before. You'll become curious, constantly asking questions and eager to fill in the gaps of your understanding. But here's the thing, learning isn't always easy. It's not always comfortable. Sometimes the information you're trying to absorb will be challenging, and sometimes you won't grasp things immediately. That's where perseverance comes in. The true value of learning comes when you push through the difficult moments, when you refuse to let confusion or frustration stop you from moving forward. Growth happens in the discomfort of learning. And when you keep going, when you commit to overcoming those challenges, you'll realize that you've gained something more valuable than just information. You've gained resilience. Another key aspect of daily learning is the willingness to unlearn. It's easy to get caught up in what you already know and become resistant to new information. But to truly grow, you must be willing to challenge your own assumptions, beliefs, and habits. Sometimes learning means shedding old ways of thinking in favor of new ones. It's about staying open-minded and being willing to change your perspective when you're presented with something better. It's important to recognize that learning is not a linear process. Some days will be more productive than others. Sometimes you might feel like you're not learning anything new, and other times you might be overwhelmed by the amount of information coming at you. That's okay. What matters is the consistency of your effort. The key is to keep showing up every day, no matter how you feel. The more you make learning a non-negotiable part of your routine, the more natural it will become, and the more you'll start to reap the benefits. Learning also fuels creativity. When you expose yourself to new ideas and new ways of thinking, you open up the pathways in your brain that lead to innovative thoughts and solutions. The more diverse your learning experiences, the more creative you'll become in your approach to challenges. It's no coincidence that the world's most innovative thinkers are also lifelong learners. They constantly absorb new information, integrate it, and then apply it in ways that others might not even consider. Learning something new every day is not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about developing a mindset of curiosity and growth. It's about seeing the world through the lens of possibility, not limitation. When you commit to learning, you start to realize that there's always more to discover, more to improve upon, and more to become. It's a mindset that can carry you through every area of your life. And remember, learning doesn't have to be a solo endeavor. You can learn from others, engage with mentors, collaborate with peers, and even teach others what you know. When you share your knowledge, you not only reinforce what you've learned but also open the door for others to learn alongside you. Growth becomes exponential when we collaborate and share insights. So commit to learning something new every day. Make it a non-negotiable habit. Let curiosity guide you, and let growth become your constant companion. Every day is an opportunity to expand your knowledge, expand your mindset, and expand your life. What you learn today will shape your tomorrow. Make sure it's something that takes you one step closer to the person you're meant to become. Chapter 5. Master your time by prioritizing what truly matters. The most precious resource you have is time. Every second that passes is one you can never get back. If you want to truly succeed, you need to master how you spend that time. It's not enough to simply be busy. You must be focused, intentional, and prioritizing the things that matter most. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, yet how we choose to use them determines the course of our lives. People often feel overwhelmed by the endless to-do lists, meetings, and distractions that fill up their days. But the real secret to mastery is understanding that not everything demands your attention. The trick is learning how to identify what truly matters and making those things your priority. Mastering time isn't about packing more into your day or trying to do everything. It's about being selective. You have to take a step back and assess your priorities. What really moves the needle forward in your life? What truly adds value? It's easy to get caught up in the noise, to get distracted by all the minor tasks that feel urgent, but actually don't matter much in the grand scheme of things. Learning to differentiate between what's important and what's merely urgent is the first step to mastering time. Every day you're presented with a multitude of choices about where to focus your attention. There are the things that demand your time because other people want or need them. Then there are the things that you want for yourself, the things that align with your values and goals. If you want to make progress in your life, you have to be deliberate in how you spend your time. You cannot afford to waste it on distractions or on things that don't contribute to your personal growth. One of the keys to mastering time is learning how to say no. You have to be willing to turn down opportunities that don't align with your priorities, no matter how tempting they may seem. This doesn't mean that you should isolate yourself or become indifferent to others' needs. It simply means that you need to have clear boundaries and be disciplined enough to protect your time from being pulled in every direction. Saying no is a powerful tool in maintaining focus and ensuring that the things that matter most get the attention they deserve. When you start prioritizing your time, you'll quickly notice a shift. Instead of constantly feeling busy and overwhelmed, you'll begin to feel more in control. You'll find that you have more energy and focus to tackle the tasks that truly matter. Your productivity will soar, but it won't feel like a struggle. Instead, you'll be working on the things that move you closer to your goals and your vision for the future. One powerful method for prioritizing what truly matters is the practice of time blocking. Time blocking is a technique where you schedule specific chunks of time for different tasks or activities. It's a way of ensuring that your most important tasks have dedicated space in your day, and it keeps you from getting sidetracked by distractions. For example, if you have a major project to work on, you can block out uninterrupted time each day to focus solely on that project. By doing this, you prevent the tendency to put it off or let smaller tasks consume your time. Another crucial element of time mastery is eliminating distractions. We live in a world that is full of distractions, many of them digital. From social media to emails to constant notifications, it's easy to get pulled away from your main tasks. But if you want to master your time, you must be intentional about minimizing these distractions. Consider turning off your notifications during your time-blocked work sessions, setting boundaries for social media use, and creating an environment that is conducive to focused work. The less distracted you are, the more you'll be able to accomplish in the time you've allotted. You also need to be realistic about how much time certain tasks will take. Often we overestimate what we can accomplish in a day, and when we don't complete everything on our to-do list, we feel like failures. But the reality is, we can only do so much in a given day. Learning to estimate time accurately and break large projects down into manageable steps will help you stay on track and avoid frustration. Prioritizing doesn't mean squeezing more into your day. It means doing the right things at the right time. One of the most important questions to ask yourself each day is, what is the most important thing I need to accomplish today? It's so easy to get lost in the minor tasks and forget about the bigger picture. But if you can focus on that one critical task and get it done, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment and momentum that propels you forward. Prioritize the tasks that align with your long-term goals, and trust that the smaller, less important tasks can wait. As you work on mastering your time, you'll find that it requires ongoing evaluation. Life isn't static, and your priorities may shift over time. What matters most today may not be as critical tomorrow, and vice versa. That's why it's important to regularly assess how you're spending your time, and make adjustments as needed. You may need to shift your focus or try new time management strategies to stay on top of your goals. The key is to remain flexible and willing to adjust, without losing sight of what's truly important. While time mastery is essential for success, it's also important to recognize the value of rest. It's easy to fall into the trap of overworking and thinking that every minute of the day must be filled with productivity. But true mastery of your time means understanding the importance of balance. You must schedule time for rest, recovery, and reflection. Without rest, your energy and focus will begin to dwindle, and you'll burn out. By making time for both work and rest, you create a sustainable rhythm that allows you to perform at your best in the long run. Lastly, be kind to yourself. Mastering time is not about perfection. It's about making intentional choices and creating a life where your time is spent in alignment with your values and goals. There will be days when you fall short, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward, continue to learn and refine your approach. The more you practice mastering your time, the better you'll get at it. And the more intentional you become about your time, the more powerful and impactful your life will be. Time is your most valuable asset. You can't control how much of it you have, but you can control how you use it. When you prioritize what truly matters and stay focused on your most important tasks, you create a life of purpose and intention. You have the power to shape your time, to shape your future, and to shape your destiny. Don't let time slip away unnoticed. Take charge, prioritize, and make every moment count. Chapter 6. Cultivate a mindset of positivity and gratitude every moment. Positivity is a choice, not a circumstance. Every single day, you have the power to decide how you want to experience life. While you can't always control what happens to you, you have total control over how you respond. Cultivating a mindset of positivity and gratitude isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the good in every moment, no matter how tough things get. When you make this choice, you open yourself up to a life of growth, joy, and unshakable resilience. Every moment in your life is an opportunity to choose your mindset. The world will throw at you obstacles, negativity, and adversity, but you can always choose how you approach them. When you choose positivity, you give yourself the best chance to grow and thrive, even in the most difficult situations. It's not always easy, and it often requires practice, but the benefits are immense. A positive mindset doesn't just make you feel better, it shifts the entire trajectory of your life. The first step in cultivating a positive mindset is shifting the way you see the world around you. Many people go through life feeling like they are constantly battling against the world, but in reality, the battle often begins inside of us. We all have thoughts that run through our heads, and some of those thoughts can be negative, self-limiting, or fearful. These thoughts can keep us stuck, prevent us from taking action, and make it harder for us to move forward. But you can change this. You don't have to accept every thought that enters your mind. Just because a thought pops up doesn't mean it's the truth. You can choose to acknowledge it, but not let it define you. The more you practice letting go of negative thoughts and replacing them with positive, empowering ones, the easier it becomes to maintain a positive mindset. Over time, your internal dialogue will shift. Instead of automatically focusing on what's wrong, you'll begin to see the opportunities, the lessons, and the positives in every situation. Gratitude is an essential part of this transformation. Gratitude is the practice of focusing on what's good in your life, instead of what's missing. It's about recognizing and appreciating the abundance that already exists, no matter how small. When you practice gratitude regularly, it rewires your brain to focus on the positive. It shifts your attention away from the problems or challenges and redirects it to all the things that are going well. This shift is incredibly powerful because it changes your perspective, and with a changed perspective, you can see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. Gratitude has a way of making the good things in life feel even better. When you take a moment each day to reflect on what you're thankful for, it brings more joy, peace, and satisfaction into your life. It doesn't matter how big or small those things are, what matters is that you are recognizing them. The simple act of acknowledging your blessings creates a positive ripple effect. It's like planting seeds that grow into feelings of abundance, contentment, and peace. But don't think for a second that cultivating positivity and gratitude means ignoring the challenges you face. Life will always have its ups and downs. There will be days when things feel impossible, when you feel overwhelmed or defeated. During these moments, it's easy to slip into negativity and let doubt and fear take over. But here's the secret: those moments are often the most important ones for growth. The key is learning how to approach them with a positive mindset. When faced with adversity, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Instead of why is this happening to me? This simple shift in mindset will open your eyes to the lessons that every challenge brings. Every difficult experience contains valuable lessons that can help you grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Life isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about learning how to navigate them with grace and gratitude. Embrace the discomfort, accept the uncertainty, and use the experience to build mental toughness. One of the most powerful tools you can use to cultivate positivity and gratitude is daily reflection. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect on what went well. What are you thankful for? What did you learn? What small victories did you achieve? This practice of reflection helps you focus on the positive aspects of your day and ensures that you don't get bogged down by the negative. It also allows you to see your progress, even when it feels slow. When you take time to acknowledge your growth, it fuels your motivation to keep going. Another powerful practice is gratitude journaling. Take 5 minutes each morning or evening to write down 3 things you're grateful for. These can be simple things like a delicious cup of coffee, a good conversation, or a moment of peace. The more specific and detailed you are in your gratitude journaling, the more effective it will be. When you focus on the small, everyday moments of gratitude, you begin to shift your brain's focus away from lack and toward abundance. Over time, you'll find that gratitude becomes second nature. But cultivating positivity and gratitude doesn't just affect how you feel, it changes how you interact with others. When you approach life with a positive mindset, you radiate that energy outwards. People are drawn to positivity. They want to be around people who inspire, uplift, and encourage them. By being the person who always finds something to be grateful for, you become a beacon of light in the lives of those around you. Your energy is contagious, and it has the power to lift others up, even in their darkest moments. It's also important to surround yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with play a huge role in shaping your mindset. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, it will be much harder to cultivate positivity within yourself. Choose to be around people who encourage growth, who see the silver lining, who lift you up when you're down. The right support system can make all the difference in your journey to develop a positive mindset. One of the most powerful aspects of positivity and gratitude is the way it impacts your overall well-being. When you focus on the positive, your stress levels decrease, your mood improves, and your energy increases. Positive thinking has been linked to better physical health, improved relationships, and even longer life expectancy. The more you practice gratitude and positivity, the more you create an environment in which you can thrive. But remember, this is a lifelong practice. No one is perfect, and there will be times when negativity creeps in. The key is not to be perfect, but to keep practicing. When you slip into negativity, acknowledge it, and then gently bring yourself back to gratitude. It's about progress, not perfection. The more consistently you focus on the positive, the easier it becomes, and the more it becomes a part of who you are. As you move forward, embrace every moment with a mindset of positivity and gratitude. Life is a series of moments, and it's up to you to choose how to experience each one. With every thought, every decision, and every action, you have the opportunity to create a life that is filled with abundance, joy, and peace. The power is within you. Cultivate it every day, and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. Chapter 7. Commit to consistent small actions that lead to big results. Small actions, consistently done, will outpace big bursts of energy that fade. It's the daily steps, the small decisions, the quiet commitments that over time will build the life you want. We all desire quick success. Who doesn't want to see massive results right now? But the truth is, success isn't an event. It's a process. And that process is built on a foundation of small, consistent actions that compound into big results. If you're looking for a shortcut to success, you won't find it. The real secret is understanding that no matter how large your goal is, it's the small daily habits, the little actions you take each day, that determine your outcomes. In a world that celebrates big wins and overnight transformations, it can be easy to overlook the importance of the small, steady steps that get you to where you want to go. It's easy to get caught up in the belief that success requires grand gestures or monumental effort, but the reality is, the key to achieving anything is to commit to those small steps. Whether it's writing a single paragraph every day towards your book, investing an hour each day into learning a new skill, or committing to the gym for just 20 minutes a day, these actions build momentum. And when you stay consistent, the results begin to snowball. The truth is, the journey to success is often a long and winding road. There will be days when progress feels slow. There will be times when it feels like your efforts aren't amounting to anything. But it's important to remember that this is a normal part of the process. Building something meaningful takes time, and success is the sum of all the small decisions you make along the way. One of the biggest obstacles people face is impatience. You want to see results now, and that's natural. We're conditioned to want instant gratification, but the real challenge, the real test of your character, is in staying committed even when the results don't come immediately. In a world where we can get anything we want with the click of a button, it's difficult to grasp that the most important things in life take time. Yet, it's in those quiet, often unseen moments when real change happens. When you choose to wake up early and work on your goals, when you stick to your commitments even when it's hard, when you show up every single day with the intent to improve just a little bit more, that's where the magic happens. These small actions will add up over time and lead to profound change. Think of a snowball rolling down a hill. At the start, it's small, almost insignificant. But as it keeps moving, it picks up more snow, gets larger, and builds momentum. It starts slow, but it eventually turns into something powerful. Your actions are like that snowball. At first it might seem like you're not making any progress. You might even question if you're doing enough. But if you keep going, one small action at a time, you'll soon find that you've created something much bigger than you ever imagined. And remember, consistency is the key. It's not about making huge strides every single day. It's about showing up, day in and day out, and doing the work. The small actions you take now are investments in your future. The more consistent you are, the more you're building a strong foundation for success. A common mistake many people make is expecting dramatic results from their initial efforts. We often look for quick, noticeable improvements and become discouraged when they don't come right away. But lasting success is not about immediate gratification. It's about consistently doing what needs to be done, day after day, without expecting instant rewards. Over time, the results will come. You just need to trust the process and stay committed. Let's consider a simple example: learning a new language. It's not something you can master in a day, but imagine if you committed to learning just 5 new words a day. In a month, that's 150 new words. In a year, that's 1,800 words. When you look at it this way, it becomes clear that the small, consistent actions you take every day compound over time and create results that seem almost magical in the long run. This principle applies to every area of life. Whether you're working on building a business, improving your health, or developing new skills, the key is in the small actions. You might not notice the progress right away, but with every effort you're making strides toward your goal. It's also important to remember that the journey will not be linear. There will be times when you feel like you're moving forward, and times when it feels like you're stuck. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments of doubt. But this is all part of the process. What matters is not whether you face obstacles, but how you respond to them. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it. It's about getting back up every time you fall. When you commit to taking consistent action, you develop the mental toughness to keep going, even when things get tough. Every setback is an opportunity to learn and grow. A key to staying consistent is creating habits that support your goals. When you make something a habit, it no longer feels like a chore. It becomes part of your daily routine. Habits are the foundation of consistent action, whether it's waking up early, working on your goals before the day gets busy, or carving out time to read. These habits help you stay on track and make progress, even when motivation wanes. Building habits takes time, but once they're in place, they make it easier to stay committed. You don't have to rely on willpower alone to keep you going. The more consistent you are, the more these habits become second nature. They become automatic, and before you know it, you're achieving big results without even thinking about it. The key is to start small. Don't try to do everything at once. If you overwhelm yourself with too many changes, you'll likely burn out. Start with one small action and focus on making it a consistent part of your daily routine. Once that becomes second nature, add another small action. Over time, you'll have a powerful system of habits that propel you toward your goals. Another important aspect of consistent action is accountability. When you share your goals with someone else, or have a system in place to track your progress, you increase your chances of success. Accountability helps keep you on track, especially when motivation starts to fade. It's much easier to stay consistent when you know someone is there to encourage you, check in on you, and hold you accountable. But ultimately, the most important person you need to be accountable to is yourself. It's easy to let others down, but when you commit to yourself, you build trust and integrity. You prove to yourself that you can follow through. You prove that you can take action, even when it's hard. You prove that you are in control of your own success. As you go through your journey, remember that it's not about perfection. You don't need to do everything perfectly. What matters is that you keep showing up and doing the work. Even if you fall short some days, don't let that derail you. Just keep going. The key to success is in the consistency of your efforts, not in the perfection of each step. Commit to the small actions that will lead to big results. Trust the process. Stay consistent even when it's hard. Believe that the small steps you take today will lead to the success you desire tomorrow. And most importantly, keep moving forward. The results will come, one small action at a time. Chapter 8. Reflect daily on your progress to stay grounded. The key to unlocking your true potential lies in one simple yet powerful act. Reflection isn't just about looking back, it's about understanding the present and preparing for the future. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who never quite reach their full potential is often in the ability to step back and assess their progress. Reflection is the tool that keeps you grounded, keeps you aligned with your purpose, and helps you stay on the path that leads to lasting success. In a world that moves at a relentless pace, it's easy to lose sight of where you've been and where you're going. The rush of daily life, the noise of endless distractions, and the constant drive to do more can overwhelm you. But amidst the chaos, taking time to reflect each day allows you to pause, recalibrate, and realign yourself with what truly matters. It's the act of checking in with yourself, of ensuring that the actions you're taking are still in line with your values and your goals. Every day you make countless decisions. Some are small, some are significant, but all contribute to the direction of your life. Without reflection, you may find yourself drifting without purpose, pulled in a million different directions by external pressures and internal distractions. However, when you make reflection a daily habit, you develop a greater awareness of your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. This awareness is the first step toward real, lasting change. Reflection isn't just a passive activity, it's an active process of growth. It's about reviewing what worked, understanding what didn't, and making the necessary adjustments. It's about learning from your mistakes, but also celebrating your victories, no matter how small. The small wins add up, and reflecting on them daily allows you to recognize your progress, even when it feels like you're not moving as quickly as you'd like. When you take time to reflect, you bring clarity to your mind. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life and forget why you started in the first place. Reflection helps you reconnect with your deeper motivations, the reasons why you set the goals you did in the first place. It reminds you of the bigger picture so that you don't lose sight of what you're really working toward. The power of reflection lies in its ability to shift your mindset. When you reflect on your day, you acknowledge both your successes and your setbacks. This practice helps you view challenges not as failures, but as learning opportunities. You begin to see obstacles as part of the journey, not something to be feared or avoided. This shift in perspective enables you to maintain a positive outlook, even in the face of adversity. If you want to remain grounded, you must make reflection a consistent part of your routine. Set aside time at the end of each day to look back on what you accomplished, what you learned, and what you can improve. This practice doesn't have to take long. Even just 5 or 10 minutes of quiet reflection can be incredibly powerful. What matters most is consistency. The more you reflect, the clearer your path becomes. One of the biggest benefits of daily reflection is its ability to keep you focused. When you reflect on your progress, you remind yourself of where you're headed and why it matters. It's easy to get distracted by shiny objects or the opinions of others, but when you have a clear understanding of your purpose, you can filter out the noise and stay on track. Reflection keeps you anchored in your vision, preventing you from getting lost in the chaos of everyday life. Reflection also provides an opportunity for gratitude. It's easy to overlook how far you've come when you're constantly focused on the next task or goal. But when you take the time to reflect, you give yourself the space to appreciate your growth. You recognize the challenges you've overcome, the obstacles you've faced, and the lessons you've learned. Gratitude helps you stay grounded by reminding you that no matter how tough the journey may seem, you are making progress. Another important aspect of reflection is its ability to build self-awareness. Self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth. Without it, it's easy to make the same mistakes over and over again, or to continue down paths that don't align with your goals. Through reflection, you gain insight into your behaviors, habits, and thought patterns. You begin to understand why you do what you do and how your choices impact your life. This self-awareness empowers you to make better decisions and take more intentional actions moving forward. Incorporating reflection into your daily routine also helps you develop emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. But when you reflect on your experiences, you build the emotional strength to handle whatever comes your way. Reflection allows you to process your emotions, learn from your experiences, and adapt to challenges. It enables you to bounce back quicker, stronger, and wiser. It's also important to note that reflection doesn't always have to be a solitary activity. While personal reflection can be incredibly powerful, discussing your progress with others can provide valuable insights. Conversations with mentors, friends, or colleagues can help you see things from a different perspective and offer guidance when you're unsure of your next step. The feedback you receive can help you refine your goals and make more informed decisions. Reflection isn't just about the big moments or achievements, It's about the small, everyday actions that add up over time. Every decision you make, every choice you take, is part of your growth. The power of reflection lies in its ability to highlight these small moments, helping you understand their significance and how they contribute to the bigger picture. If you want to stay grounded, make reflection a non-negotiable part of your day. It doesn't matter how successful or busy you become, reflection should always be a priority. It keeps you humble, focused, and aligned with your purpose. When you reflect regularly, you gain clarity, insight, and the wisdom necessary to keep moving forward. You don't need to have all the answers today, but by taking the time to reflect, you ensure that you're constantly growing and evolving into the best version of yourself. As you reflect on your progress, remember that no journey is ever without challenges. You will encounter obstacles, moments of doubt, and times when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. But in those moments, remember that reflection allows you to stay grounded and focused. It provides the clarity and perspective you need to keep going. So commit to daily reflection. Take the time to look back on your progress, learn from your experiences, and keep your focus on what truly matters. The more you reflect, the more you'll realize how far you've come and how much further you're capable of going. Ground yourself in the power of reflection and watch your progress accelerate. Chapter 9. Take full responsibility for your actions and outcomes. If you want to transform your life, there's one simple but powerful shift that will change everything. Take full responsibility for your actions and the outcomes they bring. Responsibility is the key to unlocking your true potential, because when you own your choices, you gain the power to create the life you want. It's easy to blame circumstances, people, or luck for where you are, but true strength comes from understanding that you are the architect of your own destiny. Once you take responsibility for your life, you stop being a passenger in your own story and start becoming the driver. At the core of taking responsibility is a deep understanding that everything in your life, your successes and failures, your happiness and frustrations, your progress and setbacks, comes from the choices you make. Every decision you make, every action you take, is shaping the future. There's no one else to blame for where you are today, and there's no one else who can change your path but you. Once you fully accept that your future is in your hands, the power to shape it becomes yours. Responsibility isn't about perfection. It's not about never making mistakes or always having things go according to plan. Instead, it's about acknowledging the role you play in every outcome, regardless of whether it turns out the way you expected. The moment you embrace this, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You stop waiting for someone or something to change, and you take action to make it happen yourself. Whether your life is where you want it to be or not, the power to improve it begins with the simple acknowledgement that it's up to you. When you take responsibility for your life, you also take control over your mindset. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external factors for your struggles, society, the economy, your upbringing, or even the people around you. But when you take responsibility, you stop giving power away to things you can't control. Instead, you focus on what you can change, your thoughts, your actions, your response to the world around you. This shift in mindset is incredibly freeing because it places the power to change directly in your hands. You are no longer at the mercy of your circumstances. You become the creator of your own reality. One of the most empowering aspects of taking responsibility is that it allows you to move forward. When you're constantly blaming others, you're stuck in a cycle of resentment and self-pity. You're unable to make progress because you're still looking backward, wondering what went wrong or who's to blame. But when you take responsibility, you stop looking at the past and start focusing on what's next. You don't waste time lamenting missed opportunities or regrets. Instead, you look at the present and think about what you can do right now to move yourself closer to your goals. Taking full responsibility for your actions also means owning the consequences of your decisions. This can be a tough pill to swallow, especially when the outcomes aren't what you hoped for. But here's the truth: every outcome is a result of a choice you made. The good news is, once you realize that your choices are the driving force in your life, you also realize that you have the power to change them. If something's not working, you don't have to wait for external circumstances to change. You can make a different choice and create a different outcome. When you take responsibility for your actions, you become more deliberate in your decision-making. You stop acting out of impulse or emotion, and instead, you make choices that align with your long-term vision. You begin to think before you act, considering the potential outcomes and consequences of your decisions. This kind of thoughtful action leads to more consistent success because you're no longer reacting to life, you're actively shaping it. Taking responsibility also means owning your mistakes. Mistakes are an inevitable part of life, but they're not failures. They're opportunities for growth. When you take responsibility for your mistakes, you learn from them, and you become better because of them. Every time you make a mistake and take responsibility for it, you gain valuable insight that will help you avoid making the same mistake again. And as you continue to learn and grow, you start to build a foundation of wisdom and resilience that will support you through any challenge. There's a powerful freedom that comes with taking responsibility. When you stop blaming others, you stop giving away your power. You become the sole creator of your future. And this freedom allows you to make choices based on what's right for you, not based on fear or outside pressure. When you accept full responsibility for your life, you no longer need to justify your actions to others. You don't need to seek approval or validation from anyone but yourself. You become your own authority, and you live life on your own terms. Taking responsibility also means you stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. So many people hold back, waiting for everything to align perfectly before they take action. But the truth is, there's never a perfect moment. Conditions will never be ideal. The best time to start is right now. When you take responsibility for your actions, you stop waiting for circumstances to change and start changing the circumstances yourself. You take bold action, even when the timing isn't perfect, because you know that waiting for perfection only keeps you stuck. But perhaps the most important aspect of taking responsibility is that it empowers you to create the outcomes you truly want. When you embrace responsibility, you stop making excuses. You stop letting setbacks or obstacles hold you back. Instead, you look for solutions. You take ownership of your goals, your actions, and your success. And when you do this, you start to create the life you've always dreamed of. When you take full responsibility for your life, you understand that your actions are the only thing you can truly control. The world around you may be unpredictable and chaotic, but you have the ability to control how you respond. Every day you can choose how to approach your challenges, how to face adversity, and how to grow from your experiences. Taking responsibility puts you in the driver's seat, ready to navigate whatever comes your way. This mindset shift is crucial because it forces you to stop living reactively and start living proactively. When you're reactive, you let life happen to you. You're at the mercy of other people's decisions, circumstances, and situations. But when you're proactive, you take charge of your life. You set the course, and you decide where to go. Every step you take is deliberate, and every choice you make is intentional. Taking responsibility isn't about perfection, it's about power. Power to choose, power to act, and power to create the life you want. So take full responsibility for your actions and the outcomes they produce. Stop waiting for things to change. Stop waiting for permission or for someone else to take charge. Own your choices, own your decisions, and own your future. The moment you accept that everything that happens to you is a result of your own choices, is the moment you take back control. And when you take control, you unlock the power to create your reality. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and become the architect of your success. The power is yours. Own it. Chapter 10. Build resilience by embracing failure as a lesson. If you want to transform your life, there's one simple but powerful shift that will change everything. Take full responsibility for your actions and the outcomes they bring. Responsibility is the key to unlocking your true potential, because when you own your choices, you gain the power to create the life you want. It's easy to blame circumstances, people, or luck for where you are, but true strength comes from understanding that you are the architect of your own destiny. Once you take responsibility for your life, you stop being a passenger in your own story and start becoming the driver. At the core of taking responsibility is a deep understanding that everything in your life, your successes and failures, your happiness and frustrations, your progress and setbacks, comes from the choices you make. Every decision you make, every action you take, is shaping the future. There's no one else to blame for where you are today, and there's no one else who can change your path but you. Once you fully accept that your future is in your hands, the power to shape it becomes yours. Responsibility isn't about perfection. It's not about never making mistakes or always having things go according to plan. Instead, it's about acknowledging the role you play in every outcome, regardless of whether it turns out the way you expected. The moment you embrace this, you stop being a victim of your circumstances. You stop waiting for someone or something to change, and you take action to make it happen yourself. Whether your life is where you want it to be or not, the power to improve it begins with the simple acknowledgement that it's up to you. When you take responsibility for your life, you also take control over your mindset. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external factors for your struggles, society, the economy, your upbringing, or even the people around you. But when you take responsibility, you stop giving power away to things you can't control. Instead, you focus on what you can change: your thoughts, your actions, your response to the world around you. This shift in mindset is incredibly freeing because it places the power to change directly in your hands. You are no longer at the mercy of your circumstances. You become the creator of your own reality. One of the most empowering aspects of taking responsibility is that it allows you to move forward. When you're constantly blaming others, you're stuck in a cycle of resentment and self-pity. You're unable to make progress because you're still looking backward, wondering what went wrong or who's to blame. But when you take responsibility, you stop looking at the past and start focusing on what's next. You don't waste time lamenting missed opportunities or regrets. Instead, you look at the present and think about what you can do right now to move yourself closer to your goals. Taking full responsibility for your actions also means owning the consequences of your decisions. This can be a tough pill to swallow, especially when the outcomes aren't what you hoped for. But here's the truth: every outcome is a result of a choice you made. The good news is, once you realize that your choices are the driving force in your life, you also realize that you have the power to change them. If something's not working, you don't have to wait for external circumstances to change. you can make a different choice and create a different outcome. When you take responsibility for your actions, you become more deliberate in your decision-making. You stop acting out of impulse or emotion, and instead, you make choices that align with your long-term vision. You begin to think before you act, considering the potential outcomes and consequences of your decisions. This kind of thoughtful action leads to more consistent success because you're no longer reacting to life, you're actively shaping it. Taking responsibility also means owning your mistakes. Mistakes are an inevitable part of life, but they're not failures. They're opportunities for growth. When you take responsibility for your mistakes, you learn from them, and you become better because of them. Every time you make a mistake and take responsibility for it, you gain valuable insight that will help you avoid making the same mistake again. And as you continue to learn and grow, you start to build a foundation of wisdom and resilience that will support you through any challenge. There's a powerful freedom that comes with taking responsibility. When you stop blaming others, you stop giving away your power. You become the sole creator of your future. And this freedom allows you to make choices based on what's right for you, not based on fear or outside pressure. When you accept full responsibility for your life, you no longer need to justify your actions to others. You don't need to seek approval or validation from anyone but yourself. You become your own authority, and you live life on your own terms. Taking responsibility also means you stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. So many people hold back, waiting for everything to align perfectly before they take action. But the truth is, there's never a perfect moment. Conditions will never be ideal. The best time to start is right now. When you take responsibility for your actions, you stop waiting for circumstances to change and start changing the circumstances yourself. You take bold action, even when the timing isn't perfect, because you know that waiting for perfection only keeps you stuck. But perhaps the most important aspect of taking responsibility is that it empowers you to create the outcomes you truly want. When you embrace responsibility, you stop making excuses. You stop letting setbacks or obstacles hold you back. Instead, you look for solutions. You take ownership of your goals, your actions, and your success. And when you do this, you start to create the life you've always dreamed of. When you take full responsibility for your life, you understand that your actions are the only thing you can truly control. The world around you may be unpredictable and chaotic, but you have the ability to control how you respond. Every day, you can choose how to approach your challenges, how to face adversity, and how to grow from your experiences. Taking responsibility puts you in the driver's seat, ready to navigate whatever comes your way. This mindset shift is crucial because it forces you to stop living reactively and start living proactively. When you're reactive, you let life happen to you. You're at the mercy of other people's decisions, circumstances, and situations. But when you're proactive, you take charge of your life. You set the course, and you decide where to go. Every step you take is deliberate, and every choice you make is intentional. Taking responsibility isn't about perfection, it's about power. Power to choose, power to act, and power to create the life you want. So take full responsibility for your actions and the outcomes they produce. Stop waiting for things to change. Stop waiting for permission or for someone else to take charge. Own your choices, own your decisions, and own your future. The moment you accept that everything that happens to you is a result of your own choices, is the moment you take back control. And when you take control, you unlock the power to create your reality. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and become the architect of your success. The power is yours. Own it. Chapter 11. Improve your habits to shape your identity daily. Failure is not your enemy. It's the ultimate teacher, the greatest mentor on your path to greatness. If you're truly committed to growth, to creating the life you desire, then you need to learn how to embrace failure as an essential part of the process. Every setback, every mistake, and every misstep you encounter is a stepping stone that leads you to greater strength, clarity, and wisdom. Those who are afraid of failure are the ones who never experience real success, because success isn't just about winning, it's about learning from every loss, adapting, and coming back stronger. The most resilient people in the world aren't those who never fail. They're the ones who refuse to let failure define them. They view failure as a lesson, not a verdict. They understand that failure is not a reflection of their abilities, but a reflection of their growth process. It's the evidence that they've dared to step outside their comfort zones, to take risks, and to challenge themselves in ways they never thought possible. And most importantly, they see failure as a powerful tool to refine their strategies, sharpen their focus, and elevate their performance. The truth is, you cannot avoid failure. It's part of the human experience. And as much as society tries to glorify perfection, no one is immune to making mistakes or facing setbacks. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't is how they respond to failure. You can let failure paralyze you with fear and doubt, or you can use it to fuel your growth and resilience. The choice is yours. And the moment you decide to embrace failure as a lesson is the moment you take full control of your destiny. The first step in building resilience through failure is changing your mindset. Many people see failure as something negative, something to be avoided at all costs, but this mindset only holds you back. To build resilience, you need to view failure through a new lens. Instead of seeing it as a roadblock, see it as a learning opportunity. Every time you fail, you gain valuable insights that you can use to improve. Every failure teaches you what works and what doesn't. Every failure shows you where you need to grow and how you need to adjust your approach. The more failures you experience, the closer you get to the success you desire. Failure is also an opportunity to build your mental and emotional strength. It's easy to stay positive when everything is going well, but true resilience is built when you face adversity and choose to rise above it. When you embrace failure, you stop running from discomfort. You face it head-on, knowing that the pain you feel in the moment is temporary, but the lessons you gain will stay with you forever. Every time you overcome a failure, you prove to yourself that you're capable of handling anything that comes your way. You develop mental toughness, and you learn to trust yourself in the face of uncertainty. Another key to building resilience through failure is developing a sense of perseverance. Resilient people don't give up after a single failure. They understand that the road to success is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, detours, and unexpected challenges along the way. But instead of quitting, they keep moving forward. They take responsibility for their failures, learn from them, and keep pushing forward with renewed determination. When you build the habit of persisting through failure, you start to build unshakable resilience. You stop seeing setbacks as obstacles and start seeing them as part of the process. It's important to remember that failure doesn't define who you are. It's simply an event in your journey. You are not a failure because you didn't succeed on your first attempt. You are not a failure because things didn't go according to plan. You are a failure only if you stop trying. If you give up, then failure becomes permanent. But if you keep trying, learning, and adapting, then failure is nothing more than a stepping stone to your success. Building resilience through failure also involves developing a growth mindset. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. They see challenges as opportunities to grow, not as threats. They understand that failure is not a reflection of their potential, but an indication of where they need to improve. When you adopt a growth mindset, failure becomes a natural part of your growth process. You stop being afraid of it and start embracing it as a sign that you're moving forward, learning, and evolving. The ability to bounce back from failure is a crucial aspect of resilience. Resilient individuals don't dwell on their mistakes. They don't waste time beating themselves up over what went wrong. Instead, they quickly shift their focus to what they can learn from the experience and how they can improve moving forward. They understand that failure is just one moment in time, not a permanent state. They choose to learn from their mistakes, adjust their approach, and keep moving toward their goals. One of the most powerful aspects of failure is its ability to teach humility. When you experience failure, you're reminded that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. It's an opportunity to let go of ego and accept that there's always more to learn. Humility allows you to remain open to new ideas, feedback, and perspectives. It prevents you from becoming complacent or arrogant. Failure teaches you to stay grounded and focused on the bigger picture. It reminds you that success is not guaranteed, and that it's only through continuous learning and growth that you can achieve your goals. Another critical aspect of building resilience through failure is self-compassion. When you fail, it's easy to become self-critical and harsh. You may tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that you've let yourself and others down. But self-compassion is essential for resilience. Instead of beating yourself up, treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Acknowledge your mistakes, but also acknowledge your efforts and the courage it took to try. Self-compassion helps you recover faster from failure and allows you to keep going without being weighed down by guilt or shame. In order to truly embrace failure as a lesson, you must also learn to trust the process. The journey to success is rarely straightforward, and the path is often filled with twists, turns, and unexpected challenges. But when you trust the process, you understand that each failure is simply a part of that process. You stop rushing the journey and start enjoying the learning experience. You trust that every challenge you face is preparing you for the next level of success. And even when things don't go as planned, you remain confident that you're exactly where you need to be in order to grow. Finally, to build resilience through failure, you must learn to celebrate small wins along the way. It's easy to become discouraged when things don't go as expected, but it's important to acknowledge your progress, no matter how small. Every step forward is a victory. Every failure you overcome is a win. When you take the time to celebrate your progress, you reinforce your resilience and motivation to keep going. Remember, failure is not a dead end. It's a lesson, an opportunity to grow, and a chance to become better. It's only through failure that you can truly build the resilience you need to achieve your goals. So the next time you encounter failure, don't run from it. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward, knowing that each failure brings you one step closer to the success you're destined to achieve. Keep growing. Keep learning, keep building your resilience, and know that your success is inevitable if you're willing to embrace every lesson failure has to offer. Chapter 12. Eliminate distractions that drain your energy and focus. The world is filled with distractions, and if you allow them, they'll drain your energy, scatter your focus, and derail your progress. But here's the hard truth. These distractions are not your fault, but allowing them to take control is. You have the power to decide where your attention goes, where your energy flows, and how much of your life is consumed by things that don't serve you. You must become intentional about your focus, because every minute you waste on unnecessary distractions is a minute you'll never get back. Imagine what you could accomplish if you could eliminate the distractions that drain your energy and focus. What would happen if you could direct all your attention toward your most important goals without being sidetracked by the noise of the world around you? The truth is, you could accomplish more than you ever thought possible, because the key to success is not working harder, it's working smarter by eliminating what's not important. The first step to eliminating distractions is becoming aware of them. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, from your phone constantly buzzing with notifications to the endless stream of information coming at you from social media, news, and even conversations. These distractions are so deeply ingrained in our daily lives that we often don't even realize they're taking up our time and energy. The key is to become conscious of how and where your focus is being pulled. Take a step back and evaluate your day. How much time are you spending on things that don't move you closer to your goals? How often are you distracted by things that leave you feeling drained instead of energized? Once you're aware of the distractions that are stealing your time and focus, it's time to take action. You must be ruthless in eliminating them. This means setting boundaries with your time and environment. One of the most powerful actions you can take is to silence your phone or put it out of reach during focused work periods. Constant notifications create a fragmented mind, and you can't give your best when you're constantly being interrupted. Your mind needs space to focus, to think deeply, and to engage fully in what you're doing. It's only when you give yourself this space that you'll be able to truly tap into your potential. It's also essential to create a work environment that supports your focus. If you're working in an environment that's cluttered, noisy, or full of distractions, your mind will have to work overtime just to stay focused. A clean, organized space helps to reduce mental clutter and allows you to focus on the task at hand. Even small changes, like turning off background noise or closing unnecessary tabs on your computer, can significantly improve your ability to concentrate. However, eliminating distractions isn't just about removing external stimuli, it's also about managing your internal distractions. Your mind is constantly racing with thoughts, worries, and to-do lists, and if you don't learn to manage them, they'll pull you away from your work. One of the most effective ways to combat internal distractions is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches you to become aware of your thoughts and emotions without becoming overwhelmed by them. By incorporating mindfulness techniques into your daily routine, you can train your brain to stay focused on the present moment rather than getting lost in a sea of distractions. Another way to protect your focus is to schedule your time in blocks. The Pomodoro technique, for example, is a proven method that helps you work in focused bursts, followed by short breaks. This allows you to stay energized and focused without feeling overwhelmed or burned out. Scheduling your time in blocks also helps you prioritize your most important tasks and ensures that you're not wasting time on things that don't matter. When you approach your day with intention, you take control of your focus and energy. It's also important to recognize that some distractions aren't as obvious as a buzzing phone or a cluttered desk. Some distractions are more subtle. They come in the form of negative thoughts, self-doubt, or perfectionism. These internal distractions can be just as harmful as external ones because they pull your energy away from the task at hand and keep you stuck in a cycle of overthinking. To eliminate these distractions, you need to learn to reframe your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking negatively or doubting your abilities, stop and redirect your focus. Remind yourself that you're capable, that failure is just part of the process, and that you're making progress every day. Reframing your thoughts helps to keep your energy directed toward your goals rather than being pulled into negative mental spirals. Another powerful tool for eliminating distractions is learning to say no. This is one of the hardest things for many people to do, but it's also one of the most important. You cannot say yes to every request, every invitation, or every opportunity that comes your way. If you try, you'll end up spreading yourself too thin, and your focus and energy will be diluted. Learn to say no to things that don't align with your goals, that don't serve your vision, or that don't bring you joy. Saying no isn't selfish, it's an act of self-preservation. It's a way of protecting your time, energy, and focus for the things that truly matter. As you eliminate distractions, it's also essential to create a routine that supports your focus. Your brain thrives on routine because it reduces decision fatigue and helps you stay on track. When you have a clear plan for your day, you don't waste energy wondering what to do next. You can move through your day with intention and clarity, knowing exactly what needs to be done and when. A solid routine helps you eliminate the mental clutter that comes with indecision and distractions. One of the most powerful strategies for eliminating distractions is practicing deep work. Deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's the state of mind that allows you to produce high-quality work in a short amount of time. To practice deep work, you must create the conditions for it. This means eliminating all distractions, both external and internal, and committing to long periods of uninterrupted focus. It's in these periods of deep work that your most meaningful progress will occur. But deep work requires discipline and commitment. It's not easy, and it's not always fun, but it's incredibly rewarding. The more you practice deep work, the more you'll be able to accomplish in less time, and the more you'll protect your focus and energy from distractions. Ultimately, eliminating distractions is about creating a life where your focus is directed toward what truly matters. It's about making conscious choices every day to protect your energy and protect your time. The more you eliminate distractions, the more space you create for your goals, your dreams, and your highest potential. When you remove the things that drain you, you free up your energy to pursue your passions, to build your success, and to become the best version of yourself. Chapter 13. Strengthen your mind by pushing through moments of doubt. There will be moments in your life when doubt creeps in, when the path ahead feels unclear and the weight of uncertainty bears down on your shoulders. But this is not a moment to retreat or shrink. This is your moment to prove to yourself just how strong your mind really is. Your ability to push through doubt is what sets you apart from the ones who give up. Every time you face doubt and choose to keep going, you are strengthening your mind, developing your resilience, and preparing yourself for the success that lies ahead. Doubt is an inevitable part of the journey. No one is immune to it. In fact, if you're doing anything that's worth pursuing, doubt will show up. It's a natural response to stepping outside of your comfort zone, to taking on challenges that stretch you. It's the brain's way of trying to protect you, to keep you safe, but it's also a barrier that you must learn to overcome. The real question is not whether doubt will come, it's how you will respond when it does. You see, doubt is not something to fear. It's not something that needs to paralyze you. In fact, it can be a sign that you are on the right path. When you feel doubt, It's often because you are pushing yourself beyond your current limits. You are reaching for something greater than what you've already achieved. And when you begin to recognize doubt for what it truly is, a sign of growth rather than a signal to stop, your perspective changes. The first step in pushing through doubt is recognizing that doubt does not define you. Just because you feel uncertain doesn't mean you are weak or incapable. Doubt is a feeling, not a fact. It's a temporary state of mind, not a permanent condition. You are not your doubt. Your mind may be telling you that you're not good enough, or that you can't do it, but these are lies that you do not need to accept. The key is to separate yourself from the doubt, to observe it without allowing it to control you. When you do this, you reclaim your power. You realize that you have the ability to choose your thoughts and reactions. At this moment, you must remember that doubt is not a reflection of your actual abilities. It's an emotional response, one that often has no basis in reality. It doesn't matter how experienced, skilled, or talented you are, doubt can still make an appearance. But the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is how they deal with doubt. It's not about avoiding doubt. It's about mastering how to handle it when it arises. When doubt sets in, it's important to acknowledge it without letting it take over. One of the most powerful techniques to combat doubt is to confront it head-on. Ask yourself, why am I doubting myself? What evidence do I have to support this doubt? More often than not, you'll realize that the reasons for your doubt are either unfounded or based on irrational fears. These fears often come from the stories you tell yourself, stories about what could go wrong, stories about past failures, stories about what others may think of you. These stories are not the truth. They are just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. Another strategy is to focus on what you can control. Doubt often arises when we feel overwhelmed by things outside of our control, but the truth is, there's always something you can do. Instead of focusing on what you can't change, focus on the actions that you can take right now to move forward. Break down your goals into smaller, manageable steps. Take one action, no matter how small it may seem, and commit to it fully. Each step you take, no matter how minor, reinforces your belief in yourself and diminishes the power of doubt. During these moments of doubt, it's crucial to lean into your why. Why did you start this journey in the first place? What is the vision you have for your life? When doubt clouds your mind, reconnect with your purpose. Your why is the fuel that will keep you going when everything around you seems uncertain. It's the reason you push through the difficult times, the reason you keep going when the road gets tough. By constantly reminding yourself of your why, you shift your focus away from the doubt and towards the bigger picture. It's also essential to challenge your belief system. Often, we have deep-seated beliefs about ourselves that fuel our doubt. These beliefs are not always true, but they become ingrained over time. Beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or I'm not capable of handling this. These beliefs are lies that need to be exposed for what they are. By questioning these beliefs and replacing them with more empowering ones, you begin to break the hold doubt has over you. Instead of believing that you're not enough, remind yourself that you are more than capable of handling challenges. Instead of fearing failure, see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. You also need to develop the habit of practicing positive self-talk. Your mind is constantly feeding you thoughts, and if you're not careful, those thoughts can turn negative. When doubt sets in, you have the power to choose your words. Speak to yourself as you would to a friend, kindly, encouragingly, and with confidence. Tell yourself that you are strong, capable, and resilient. Remind yourself of all the times you've overcome challenges in the past. Speak affirmations that reinforce your belief in your abilities. Positive self-talk isn't about ignoring the doubt. It's about replacing the negative thoughts with empowering ones that align with your goals and aspirations. Resilience is built in the face of adversity. The more you confront your doubt and continue to move forward, the stronger your mind becomes. Every time you push through doubt, you are conditioning your mind to handle even greater challenges. Resilience is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. And with each challenge you overcome, your belief in yourself grows. You start to see that no matter what obstacles you face, you have the inner strength to push through them. Remember that doubt is not something that will ever fully go away. It's part of the human experience, and it will show up at different points throughout your journey. But the key is not to eliminate doubt, it's to build a mindset that can handle it. The more you strengthen your mind, the less power doubt will have over you. Eventually, doubt will become a temporary visitor that comes and goes, rather than something that holds you back from taking action. In those moments when you feel like you can't push through, take a deep breath and remind yourself of your strength. Reflect on how far you've come and how much you've already overcome. Don't let the fear of failure or uncertainty stop you from moving forward. Embrace doubt as a natural part of the process and use it as a stepping stone to your growth. The more you push through, the more you'll discover just how resilient and powerful you truly are. The strength to succeed lies not in avoiding doubt, but in developing the courage to keep moving forward despite it. Chapter 14. Invest in yourself through continuous personal development. Investing in yourself is the most powerful decision you can ever make. It's the key to unlocking your fullest potential and ensuring that you are constantly growing, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself. When you choose to invest in your personal development, you are making an investment that will pay the highest dividends throughout your entire life. The return on investment isn't just financial, it's emotional, mental, and spiritual. It's the investment that sets you up for every success, every breakthrough, and every moment of fulfillment that will follow. Continuous personal development is the foundation of any great life. It's a commitment to growth, to learning, and to improving every single day. Without it, you will stagnate, remain stuck, and miss out on all the incredible opportunities that life has to offer. The world is constantly changing, and if you don't keep up with it by investing in yourself, you risk being left behind. Personal development is the engine that drives you forward, keeping you on the cutting edge and allowing you to take full advantage of the opportunities that come your way. One of the greatest things about investing in yourself is that it's never too late to start. No matter where you are in your life or your career, you can always make the decision to grow. It doesn't matter what age you are, what your background is, or where you've come from. The most successful people in the world are those who continually prioritize their growth and development, and you can do the same. It doesn't require perfection, only consistency. It doesn't matter if you're starting from scratch. What matters is that you take the first step and keep moving forward. The first step in investing in yourself is committing to lifelong learning. The world doesn't stop changing, and neither should you. In today's fast-paced world, there's no excuse for not constantly learning. You have endless resources at your fingertips: books, podcasts, online courses, seminars, mentors, and more. The question is not whether you have access to knowledge, but whether you are actively seeking it out and applying it in your life. Every moment you spend learning something new is an investment in your future, whether it's gaining new skills, broadening your perspective, or enhancing your mindset. Learning has the power to transform your life. Personal development is not just about acquiring new knowledge, though. It's also about applying that knowledge to make real change in your life. It's easy to get excited about a new book or course, but the true value comes from implementation. It's one thing to learn how to be more productive, for example, but it's another thing entirely to actually take action on what you've learned. Personal growth doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens when you take what you've learned and put it into practice. Every action you take that aligns with your goals is an investment in your future success. Another key element of investing in yourself is developing emotional intelligence. Your ability to manage your emotions, understand others, and navigate the complexities of relationships is one of the most important skills you can develop. Emotional intelligence isn't something that's often taught in school, but it's essential for success in life and business. Being able to stay calm under pressure, handle conflict with grace, and communicate effectively are all part of emotional intelligence, and these skills will serve you far beyond any technical knowledge you acquire. When you work on improving your emotional intelligence, you become more adaptable, resilient, and capable of handling any situation that comes your way. Mental and emotional resilience are also crucial aspects of personal development. Life will not always go according to plan. You will face setbacks, failures, and disappointments. But it's how you respond to these challenges that will determine your success. If you allow obstacles to stop you, if you let doubt and fear control your actions, you will never reach your full potential. But if you commit to building resilience, you will be able to face any adversity with confidence and strength. Resilience doesn't mean you won't face difficult times. It means that no matter what happens, you will keep going. You will keep learning, growing, and moving forward, no matter how hard the journey becomes. Physical health is another essential component of investing in yourself. You cannot perform at your best mentally and emotionally if you're neglecting your physical health. Investing in your body is investing in your future. The more energy, vitality, and strength you have, the better equipped you are to take on challenges and seize opportunities. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest are all part of the equation. When you take care of your body, you set yourself up for success in every other area of your life. The stronger your body, the stronger your mind. Physical health is the foundation that allows you to achieve your greatest goals. Financial education is another crucial area for personal development. Your relationship with money will determine a large part of your success. If you don't understand how to manage, invest, and grow your finances, you will always be limited in what you can achieve. Learning about personal finance, investing, budgeting, and wealth-building strategies is an essential part of taking control of your life. The more you educate yourself on financial matters, the more freedom and opportunities you create for yourself and your future. Money, when managed wisely, can become a tool that helps you achieve your dreams and goals. But it requires knowledge, discipline, and a willingness to learn. Along with financial education comes the ability to set and achieve goals. Personal development is about progress, and the best way to make progress is by setting clear, specific goals. These goals give you direction and purpose. They serve as a roadmap to your success, and they keep you accountable to yourself. When you set goals, you're not just wishing for success, you're taking actionable steps to make it happen. And every step you take toward your goals is a step toward your greatest potential. The process of setting goals and working toward them builds self-discipline, resilience, and focus. Another aspect of personal development is cultivating a positive mindset. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world. It shapes your beliefs, your actions, and your outcomes. If you have a fixed mindset, you will see challenges as threats and failure as something to avoid. But if you have a growth mindset, you will see challenges as opportunities for growth and failure as a lesson on the path to success. A positive mindset doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means approaching them with the belief that you have the ability to overcome them. When you invest in developing a positive mindset, you're setting yourself up for long-term success, no matter what challenges arise. Networking and building relationships is another critical part of personal development. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your growth and success. When you invest time in building strong, supportive relationships with people who inspire and challenge you, you open the door to new opportunities and insights. Mentors, coaches, and peers who are on the same path of growth can offer valuable perspectives and guidance that can accelerate your development. You don't have to do this journey alone. Surround yourself with those who uplift you and invest in relationships that push you to be better. Finally, personal development requires the ability to reflect and adjust. It's not enough to simply take action and move forward blindly. You need to pause and assess your progress. Reflect on what's working, what's not, and what changes need to be made. This ability to adapt and course correct is what will allow you to stay on track and continue growing in the right direction. Without reflection, you risk stagnation. With reflection, you can continuously improve and fine-tune your approach, ensuring that you're always moving closer to your goals. Investing in yourself is a lifelong commitment. It's not something that you do once and then forget about. It's something you do every single day. Whether you're reading, exercising, learning a new skill, or building relationships, every action you take to improve yourself is an investment that will pay off in ways you can't even imagine. The returns from investing in yourself are limitless. The more you develop your mind, body, and spirit, the greater your potential becomes. So commit to your personal growth today and make every day a step toward your greatest self. Chapter 15. Take bold steps outside your comfort zone every day. You will never achieve greatness by staying in your comfort zone. Comfort breeds complacency, and complacency is the enemy of growth. If you want to break through to new levels of success, you must take bold steps every single day, even when it feels uncomfortable. The truth is, the only way to achieve the extraordinary is by stepping outside the ordinary, pushing beyond the familiar, and embracing the discomfort that comes with true growth. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you get one step closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. We all have moments where we feel comfortable, safe, and secure. These moments can be tempting to stay in. They offer a sense of peace and stability. But what you need to realize is that the comfort zone is a prison of your own making. It traps you in a cycle of mediocrity and keeps you from experiencing the full potential of what you are capable of. The moment you decide to take bold steps outside that zone is the moment your life begins to change. It's the moment you decide that you want more than what's currently available to you. It's the moment you decide that you are capable of greatness. Stepping outside your comfort zone isn't about recklessness. It's about being intentional with your growth. It's about doing the things that scare you, challenge you, and force you to evolve. Every time you take a bold step forward, you build a muscle of courage, resilience, and self-belief. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you think. And over time, these small, brave steps accumulate into massive transformation. Taking bold steps requires courage, but courage is not the absence of fear. It's the willingness to act in spite of fear. Fear will always be there. It will whisper doubts in your ear, telling you to stay where you are, to play it safe. But you cannot let fear control you. You must learn to move forward, even when your mind tries to convince you otherwise. The fear will always try to hold you back, but courage will push you forward. Each day you wake up is an opportunity to take bold steps. It doesn't matter how small the step is, it only matters that you take it. Small actions, when repeated consistently, lead to monumental changes. It could be as simple as starting a conversation with someone you've been avoiding, asking for feedback, taking on a challenging task, or pursuing a goal that intimidates you. It doesn't have to be a huge leap, but when you consistently choose to step outside your comfort zone, day after day, you begin to rewire your brain. You start to realize that you are capable of handling more than you thought. You grow more resilient, more confident, and more empowered. Every successful person you admire has gotten to where they are because they took bold steps. They faced fear and doubt just like you, but they chose to act anyway. They understood that every step outside their comfort zone was a step closer to their dreams. They didn't wait for the perfect moment because they knew that the perfect moment doesn't exist. They created their own opportunities by choosing to act, even when they didn't feel ready. Your mind will try to keep you safe. It will tell you that failure is too risky, that you're not ready, that you might look foolish. But remember this, nothing ventured, nothing gained. When you stay in your comfort zone, you deprive yourself of the incredible experiences, growth, and opportunities that are waiting for you. Growth happens in the unknown, in the spaces where you feel uncertain, in the moments that challenge you to rise above your limitations. It's in those moments that you learn the most about yourself, and it's in those moments that you realize your true potential. Bold steps are not always big actions. Sometimes, the boldest step you can take is to change your mindset. Instead of focusing on all the reasons why something might not work, focus on the reasons why it could. Instead of dwelling on failure, see it as a stepping stone to success. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the challenges ahead, break them down into manageable tasks. A bold step in your mindset can propel you forward, even when the physical steps are hard to take. The way you perceive challenges will determine how much progress you make. A positive, growth-oriented mindset is the fuel that will keep you moving, even when it feels like you're not making any headway. One of the most powerful ways to embrace stepping outside your comfort zone is by reframing discomfort. Instead of seeing discomfort as something to avoid, start seeing it as a sign that you are growing. Discomfort is your body's way of signaling that you are on the verge of transformation. It's an indicator that you are pushing your limits and expanding your capabilities. When you embrace discomfort instead of running from it, you shift your entire perspective. You begin to see discomfort as a positive force in your life, a catalyst for change. The more you step outside your comfort zone, the more you begin to embrace uncertainty. Uncertainty is often what holds people back from taking bold steps. We want to know that things will work out, that we'll succeed, and that we won't fail. But the truth is, life is uncertain, nothing is guaranteed. The only guarantee you have is that if you stay where you are, nothing will change. The moment you step into uncertainty, you open yourself up to new experiences, new opportunities, and new lessons. Uncertainty is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and growth. It's where the magic happens. Taking bold steps also means taking responsibility for your life. You cannot wait for someone else to push you outside your comfort zone. You cannot wait for the perfect moment or the perfect conditions. You have to take charge of your own growth. You have to make the decision to step up, take action, and move forward, regardless of the fear or discomfort you may feel. The power is always in your hands. You are the one who decides when to act, when to step up, and when to break through your limitations. There will be moments when you doubt yourself. There will be times when you feel like you're not ready or that you're not good enough. In those moments, remind yourself that growth is not about being perfect. It's about progress. It's about learning and improving every single day. Each time you take a bold step, you are getting closer to the person you are meant to be. And each time you face fear and uncertainty, you become stronger. You become more capable. You become unstoppable. Every day that you choose to step outside your comfort zone, you are building a foundation for your future. You are creating the life you want, not by waiting for things to happen, but by making things happen. Bold steps lead to big results. And when you make the decision to take action every day, no matter how small or large the step may be, you are aligning yourself with success. Every step outside your comfort zone is a step toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. Keep taking those bold steps. Keep pushing forward. Keep growing. You have everything you need to achieve greatness. Now it's time to act. Chapter 16. Foster a deep connection with your inner self daily. You are the most important relationship you'll ever have, and yet it's the one most often neglected. The most profound transformation in your life will come not from external success, but from the deep, unwavering connection you foster with your inner self. This is where everything begins: your mindset, your beliefs, your actions, and your ultimate success. A strong connection to yourself is the foundation on which all other successes are built. If you can't hear your own thoughts, trust your own judgment, or understand your true desires, how can you expect to make the right decisions or live with confidence? This connection is the key to unlocking your potential and living with purpose. The world constantly bombards you with noise, distractions, opinions, and expectations. It's easy to get lost in the chaos and forget who you truly are, what you stand for, and what you're capable of. But when you take the time each day to silence the external noise and connect with your inner self, you gain clarity. You gain a sense of peace that comes from truly understanding yourself, your desires, your fears, your values. This deep connection to your inner self doesn't just bring peace, it propels you forward with a sense of direction and purpose. Start your day with stillness. In the rush of life, it's easy to skip this important step, but you must make the conscious decision to carve out time to be alone with yourself, even if it's just for a few minutes. This time of quiet reflection allows you to center yourself. It's in this stillness that you begin to hear your thoughts more clearly. You'll start to recognize the whispers of your intuition, your true desires, and your inner wisdom. This is the voice that knows what's best for you, the one that has been drowned out by the noise of the world for too long. The practice of connecting with your inner self is a daily commitment. It's not something you do once and forget about. It requires discipline, consistency, and a deep commitment to understanding who you are at your core. This is not about constantly chasing external validation or success. This is about turning inward to find peace and guidance. It's about learning to trust yourself above all else. When you connect with your inner self, you start making decisions that align with your true values, not the expectations of others. You begin to make choices that support your well-being and growth. A deep connection with yourself also means being honest with yourself. Too often we tell ourselves lies to avoid discomfort or to fit into a mold that society has created for us. We tell ourselves we're fine when we're not. We say things are okay when they're not. But to truly connect with yourself, you must be brutally honest. You must acknowledge your emotions, your fears, your doubts, and your desires. Only when you face the truth can you begin to heal and grow. This honesty with yourself will create a foundation of self-trust that will carry you through life's challenges. When you consistently connect with your inner self, you develop a deeper sense of self-awareness. You start to notice patterns in your thoughts and behaviors. You begin to understand why you react the way you do to certain situations, and you can take control of how you respond moving forward. This self-awareness is incredibly empowering because it puts you in the driver's seat of your own life. You are no longer a passive participant in the events of your life. You are actively shaping your reality based on the decisions you make from a place of inner knowing. One powerful way to connect with your inner self is through meditation. Meditation quiets the mind, allowing you to get in touch with the deeper parts of yourself. It helps you become more aware of your thoughts and emotions, and can reveal insights that were previously hidden. Even if you start with just 5 minutes a day, the impact will be profound. Over time, you'll find that meditation helps you develop greater clarity, calmness, and inner peace. It teaches you how to listen to your inner voice without distraction and without judgment. Another way to connect with yourself is through journaling. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and reflections helps you gain clarity and perspective. It allows you to process your emotions and understand what's truly important to you. Journaling is a way to have an ongoing conversation with yourself. It's a space where you can express your hopes, dreams, fears, and frustrations without fear of judgment. This practice creates an outlet for your inner thoughts and provides valuable insight into what's going on beneath the surface. But connecting with yourself is not just about quiet reflection and self-awareness, it's also about self-compassion. Too often, we are our harshest critics. We beat ourselves up for mistakes, for not living up to our own expectations, for not being perfect. But true self-connection is rooted in love and understanding. You must learn to be kind to yourself, especially during times of struggle or failure. When you treat yourself with compassion, you create an environment where growth is possible. You stop sabotaging yourself with negative self-talk and start building yourself up with positive affirmations and encouragement. Another powerful way to deepen your connection with yourself is through physical activity. When you move your body, you're not just taking care of your physical health, you're also fostering a connection between your body and mind. Physical exercise is a form of self-care that signals to your body and mind that you are worthy of attention and respect. Whether it's a morning run, a yoga session, or simply taking a walk, movement helps you reconnect with your physical self and brings you into the present moment. This connection between body and mind enhances your overall sense of well-being and reinforces the bond you share with yourself. As you strengthen this connection with yourself, you begin to trust your own judgment more. You become more confident in your decisions because you know they are coming from a place of inner clarity, not external pressure. You no longer need to seek validation from others because you are secure in your own beliefs and values. You learn to trust your gut, follow your instincts, and make choices that align with your authentic self. This connection also allows you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease. When you're connected to your inner self, you have an unwavering foundation to lean on. The world may throw obstacles in your way, but your sense of self remains constant. You are no longer thrown off course by external events because you have a deep knowing of who you are and what you stand for. You are anchored in your own truth. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is the practice of daily self-reflection. Take time each day to reflect on your thoughts, your actions, and your emotional state. Ask yourself deep questions. How did I show up today? What went well, and what could I improve? How can I align more closely with my true self tomorrow? This practice of self-reflection allows you to course correct and ensure that you are continuously growing and evolving in the right direction. It keeps you grounded and focused on your own journey, rather than getting distracted by the noise of the world. The connection you cultivate with yourself will also deepen your connection to others. When you are in tune with your own thoughts and emotions, you become more empathetic and understanding toward others. You can communicate more effectively because you know your own needs and can express them clearly. You can also listen with more compassion because you've learned to listen to yourself first. Every day is an opportunity to nurture this connection with your inner self. The more you invest in this relationship, the more you will see the fruits of your efforts. Your life will become more intentional, more fulfilling, and more aligned with your true desires. The better you know yourself, the better you can navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence. When you consistently foster a deep connection with your inner self, you unlock the power to create the life you truly want. You stop living on autopilot and start living with purpose. You stop allowing external circumstances to dictate your happiness, and you begin to create your own reality from the inside out. This connection is the key to everything you desire, and it is yours to nurture every single day. Chapter 17. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. The people you surround yourself with have an undeniable impact on your life. They shape your mindset, influence your decisions, and ultimately determine the direction in which you will go. If you want to level up, to break free from mediocrity and tap into your highest potential, you must choose your circle wisely. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire and challenge you, people who elevate you, push you beyond your limits, and show you what is possible. The company you keep can either lift you or weigh you down, so make the decision to seek out those who challenge you to be better, not just comfortable. The power of the people around you cannot be underestimated. Every day you are bombarded by external influences, whether from family, friends, colleagues, or social media. These influences can either help you grow or pull you back into old habits, outdated ways of thinking, and negative cycles. When you surround yourself with people who settle for mediocrity, it's easy to fall into that same trap. But when you choose to be around those who are striving for greatness, it raises your standards, forces you to think bigger, and makes you realize that the limits you've been placing on yourself are self-imposed. You begin to see the world differently, not as a place full of limitations, but as a realm of endless possibilities. It's not enough to just be around people who are positive or kind. It's important to surround yourself with individuals who challenge your thinking, who make you uncomfortable in the best way possible. These are the people who push you out of your comfort zone, who demand more from you because they know what you are truly capable of. They don't let you off the hook with excuses. They encourage you to level up, to step into the next version of yourself. They believe in you more than you sometimes believe in yourself, and their belief helps fuel your own self-belief. The right people will challenge your assumptions, broaden your perspectives, and introduce you to new ideas. They won't just agree with everything you say or do. Instead, they will question you, encourage you to dig deeper, and help you see beyond your current understanding. This constant challenge is what helps you grow, and growth is the key to unlocking the next level of your potential. Without these challenges, you'll remain stagnant, forever stuck in the same patterns and habits that have kept you where you are. When you surround yourself with people who challenge you, you begin to see the areas in which you've been holding back. They force you to confront the limiting beliefs that have been preventing you from stepping into your power. They remind you that you are capable of more than you think, and they do this by modeling that behavior themselves. They lead by example, showing you what's possible when you take bold action, when you push through your fears, and when you refuse to settle for less than your best. Their actions speak louder than any words, and their example will push you to rise higher than you ever thought possible. However, being around people who inspire and challenge you isn't always comfortable. Growth rarely is. There will be times when their words sting, or when their actions make you feel like you're not doing enough. You may feel envious or frustrated, but these feelings are signs that you're on the right path. They show you what you desire, but haven't yet achieved. Instead of letting those feelings of envy or frustration hold you back, use them as fuel. Let them remind you of the potential you have within you to achieve similar, if not greater, things. Let them drive you to work harder, to push yourself further, and to never settle for anything less than greatness. The people who challenge you are the ones who refuse to let you play small. They encourage you to take risks, to step outside of your comfort zone, and to fail forward. They know that failure is not the end, it's just part of the process. They push you to face your fears head-on and keep moving forward, even when it feels like you're not making progress. They remind you that the only way to grow is through discomfort, and that the only way to achieve greatness is to take bold, courageous action. But it's not just about being surrounded by people who challenge you, it's about being in an environment that supports your growth. It's about finding a community that shares your values, your vision, and your drive for success. This is why it's essential to be intentional about the people you allow into your life. You don't need to be around everyone who crosses your path. You need to be selective about who you let influence your thoughts and actions. Choose to spend your time with people who are aligned with your goals, who are on a similar path, and who will lift you up rather than bring you down. Being in a community of like-minded individuals will accelerate your growth. When you're surrounded by people who are focused on self-improvement, you can learn from their experiences, share knowledge, and support each other through challenges. The power of a supportive community is unmatched. It's not just about having a group of people around you, it's about having the right people who encourage you, who hold you accountable, and who cheer you on every step of the way. When you're in an environment like this, you'll find that you are more motivated, more driven, and more committed to your goals because you know you have a support system that believes in you. But even in a group of inspiring, challenging individuals, you must take personal responsibility for your growth. You can't rely solely on others to push you forward. It's up to you to take action, to do the work, and to continuously strive for more. You are the one who must decide to rise above the obstacles and pursue your goals with everything you've got. The people around you can only guide you and support you, but they cannot do the work for you. It's your life, your journey, and ultimately your responsibility to show up every day and give it your all. Sometimes being surrounded by inspiring and challenging people can feel overwhelming. Their drive and determination might make you feel like you're not doing enough, or you might feel like you're falling behind. But instead of shrinking away from this discomfort, embrace it. Understand that it's a reflection of your own potential and use it as motivation to take the next step forward. Don't compare your progress to theirs, run your own race. Recognize that your journey is unique, and what matters most is that you continue to push yourself, even when it feels difficult. In addition to surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, it's important to find mentors who can guide you on your journey. Mentors are invaluable because they have walked the path before you. They've faced the challenges, made the mistakes, and learned the lessons that you can now benefit from. A mentor can provide you with wisdom, insight, and practical advice that will help you avoid common pitfalls and move forward faster. But remember, even mentors can't do the work for you. It's your responsibility to take the lessons they teach you and apply them to your life. As you continue to surround yourself with inspiring and challenging individuals, you'll find that your own potential begins to expand. You'll start to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You'll begin to take risks that you once would have avoided. And most importantly, you'll begin to step into the version of yourself that you were always meant to be. You'll no longer be limited by the constraints you once placed on yourself. Instead, you'll embrace the limitless possibilities that come when you surround yourself with the right people, people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be the best version of yourself. Make a commitment today to evaluate the people in your life and ensure they are pushing you forward. Seek out individuals who inspire you, who challenge your thinking, and who refuse to let you stay stuck in your comfort zone. The right people will elevate you and help you achieve things you never thought possible. Surround yourself with greatness, and you will become great in turn. Chapter 18. Speak with clarity and confidence to assert your presence. Your voice is the most powerful tool you have in shaping how the world perceives you. When you speak with clarity and confidence, you assert your presence in every room you enter, every conversation you join. It's not just the words you say, but the energy you project, the tone you carry, and the self-belief you exude. The way you communicate is a direct reflection of how you see yourself, and when you speak with certainty, the world listens differently. You can command attention, influence decisions, and inspire others simply by expressing yourself clearly and confidently. Clarity in speech is essential because it reflects clarity of mind. When you communicate clearly, you're not just saying words, you're conveying your ideas, your values, and your purpose. People gravitate toward clarity because it's rare. Too often, people speak in circles, murky thoughts spilling out with no real direction or intention. But when you speak with focus and precision, you cut through the noise and make an impact. Clear communication is a sign of a well-organized mind, one that knows what it wants to say and is not afraid to express it. To speak with clarity, you first must be clear within yourself. This requires self-awareness and a deep understanding of what you want to communicate. It's not enough to have a general idea or a vague thought in your head. You need to be fully aligned with your message, knowing exactly what you intend to convey and why it matters. When you're clear on your purpose, your words become more than just sounds, they become powerful tools for action. Confidence, on the other hand, is the fuel that powers your clarity. Without confidence, your message can falter. It can lack the strength it needs to make an impact. Confidence isn't just about sounding sure of yourself, it's about fully believing in your ability to communicate effectively. It's about trusting your words and trusting yourself to deliver them with conviction. When you speak with confidence, your words resonate more deeply. People listen not just to what you say, but how you say it. They pick up on the energy behind your speech, and when that energy is positive and assertive, it creates an undeniable presence. The key to speaking with confidence lies in understanding that your voice matters. Too often, people hold back, doubting the importance of their words or fearing judgment. But your perspective is unique, and what you have to say has value. Every time you speak, you're contributing to the conversation, sharing your wisdom, and asserting your place in the world. When you speak with confidence, you're sending a message to the world that you are worthy of being heard. This shift in mindset, understanding that your words are powerful, will naturally enhance your ability to communicate with clarity and authority. One of the most important aspects of speaking with confidence is body language. It's not just about the words you use, but how you carry yourself while speaking. The way you stand, the way you hold eye contact, and the way you project your voice all contribute to how confident you appear. When you stand tall, shoulders back, and speak with purpose, your body language reinforces the confidence in your voice. People instinctively respond to strong, confident posture as it signals authority and belief in yourself. This physical manifestation of confidence helps reinforce your words and makes your message even more powerful. But speaking with confidence doesn't mean you have to be loud or aggressive. Confidence can be calm and measured. It's about having control over your voice and your message. When you speak clearly and confidently, your tone doesn't waver. You don't need to shout to be heard. You simply need to speak with authority, trusting that your voice will carry the weight it needs to. When you speak in this way, people pay attention because they know you mean what you say. The ability to speak clearly and confidently is not just an advantage, it's a superpower that can elevate you in any situation. It's also important to understand that clarity and confidence go hand in hand with active listening. Communication isn't just about speaking, it's also about listening. When you listen actively, you engage fully in the conversation, which allows you to respond more effectively. The better you listen, the clearer and more confident your responses will be. Active listening also helps you understand the context of a conversation, which enables you to tailor your message to what is most relevant and impactful. This enhances your ability to speak clearly and with confidence because you are responding directly to the needs of the conversation. Another critical element in speaking with clarity and confidence is the ability to manage nerves. It's normal to feel anxious or nervous before speaking, especially in high-stakes situations. However, learning how to manage that anxiety is essential. Confidence doesn't mean the absence of fear, it means feeling the fear and moving forward anyway. One powerful technique for managing nerves is deep breathing. Before you speak, take a few deep breaths to calm your mind and center yourself. This simple act helps you focus, lowers your anxiety, and allows you to speak more clearly. When you manage your nerves effectively, you naturally present yourself with more confidence. A great way to improve your ability to speak clearly and confidently is by practicing regularly. The more you speak, the more comfortable and natural it becomes. Whether it's in front of a mirror, with a trusted friend, or in front of a larger audience, practice is essential. With practice, you become more attuned to your voice, your body language, and your message. You begin to feel more in control, and speaking with clarity and confidence becomes second nature. As you continue to speak more often, you'll also start to develop a greater sense of authenticity. When you speak from a place of authenticity, your words carry even more weight. People can sense when someone is being genuine, and authenticity builds trust and credibility. When you are true to yourself in your communication, you speak with power and purpose. You no longer feel the need to conform to external expectations or fit into a mold of what you think others want to hear. Instead, you embrace your individuality and communicate your unique perspective with confidence. Clear and confident speaking also requires you to manage your emotions effectively. Sometimes, conversations can become heated or emotional, but it's essential to remain composed. When you let your emotions take over, your clarity can suffer, and your message can get lost in the noise of your feelings. To maintain clarity and confidence, it's crucial to stay centered, even in moments of tension. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means acknowledging them, managing them, and communicating from a place of calm and control. It's also important to speak with purpose. Every word you say should have intention behind it. When you speak with purpose, you send a clear message to your listeners that your words matter. Purpose-driven communication is powerful because it's deliberate and focused. It ensures that everything you say contributes to your overall message, and that your message is received with the weight it deserves. In professional settings, speaking with clarity and confidence can open doors to new opportunities. It can elevate your career and help you stand out in a crowded field. When you speak with clarity, your ideas are more likely to be understood, and when you speak with confidence, others are more likely to take you seriously. Confidence in the workplace doesn't come from boasting or over-explaining. It comes from being clear, concise, and assertive. You can express your ideas without hesitation, defend your opinions without doubt, and persuade others with your presence. Finally, speaking with clarity and confidence is essential for building strong relationships. Whether in personal or professional contexts, effective communication is the foundation of trust, respect, and connection. When you speak clearly and confidently, you create an environment where others feel comfortable engaging with you. They trust your judgment, respect your input, and value your perspective. This strengthens your relationships and helps you build deeper, more meaningful connections with the people around you. When you speak with clarity and confidence, you take control of your narrative. You no longer let your insecurities dictate how you communicate. Instead, you own your voice, your message, and your presence. And when you own your voice, you own your power. So, begin today by speaking with clarity, speaking with confidence, and watch how your presence transforms the world around you. Chapter 19. Seek feedback and use it to fuel your growth. You can't grow if you don't know where to improve, and the only way to truly understand that is by seeking feedback. Feedback is the most powerful tool for self-improvement because it's an external mirror reflecting what you can't always see in yourself. Without it, you're like a ship lost at sea, unsure of your direction. Feedback provides you with the coordinates, guiding you to become a better version of yourself, both personally and professionally. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing you have everything figured out. The comfort of staying in your own bubble, where everything feels familiar, can be tempting. But growth does not happen in the comfort zone. Growth requires discomfort, challenges, and yes, feedback. Without it, you're limited to your own perceptions, which can be clouded by ego, bias, or fear. Feedback helps you shatter those illusions. It breaks down the walls of your self-imposed limitations and opens you up to possibilities you may never have considered. But feedback is not always easy to hear. Sometimes it can be uncomfortable, even painful. It's a raw, honest reflection of where you are right now and where you could be. However, the discomfort is a necessary part of the growth process. If you truly want to become better at anything, you have to be open to criticism, not as a personal attack, but as an opportunity to improve. The most successful people in the world are those who have learned to embrace feedback, not as a judgment, but as a tool for growth. When you seek feedback, you're taking ownership of your development. It's a sign of strength, not weakness, to ask for input from others. It shows that you're willing to learn, to evolve, and to grow. It's easy to get stuck in the mindset that asking for feedback is a sign of inadequacy. But it's actually the opposite. It's a sign of emotional intelligence. It's about recognizing that you don't have all the answers and being willing to learn from the experiences and insights of others. This mindset is essential if you want to reach your full potential. Seeking feedback also means seeking a variety of perspectives. You need to ask people who have a different view, a different background, and different experiences. The more diverse the feedback, the more comprehensive your growth will be. If you only surround yourself with people who tell you what you want to hear, you're not getting an accurate picture of your progress. You need people who will challenge you, question your assumptions, and offer constructive criticism. This is how you improve. Once you receive feedback, the next step is using it to fuel your growth. Feedback is only valuable if you take action on it. It's not enough to listen to it and nod in agreement. You need to internalize it, reflect on it, and use it to make tangible changes in your behavior, your mindset, and your approach. The feedback you receive can guide you in understanding your weaknesses, identifying your strengths, and giving you a roadmap for your next steps. But without taking action, it's just words. You have to put it into practice. One of the most important things to remember when seeking feedback is that it is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. As you continue to grow, you'll encounter new challenges, new opportunities, and new obstacles. You need to continually seek feedback to stay on track, adjust your course, and keep improving. The moment you stop asking for feedback is the moment you stop growing. It's that simple. Using feedback to fuel your growth requires humility. You need to be able to step back and see yourself objectively, to put your ego aside and be open to hearing things you may not want to hear. This doesn't mean you should accept every piece of feedback as absolute truth. Not all feedback will be valid, and not all feedback will be useful. However, it's important to listen, process, and decide what aligns with your goals and values. Sometimes feedback may require you to make tough decisions or face uncomfortable truths about yourself. But remember, discomfort is where the magic happens. It's through facing our discomforts that we find the greatest opportunities for growth. Additionally, feedback is an ongoing cycle. After you've implemented changes based on the feedback you've received, it's important to check in with yourself and see how those changes are impacting your progress. Are you seeing the improvements you were hoping for? Are there areas where you still need to refine your approach? Constant reflection and recalibration are key to ensuring that the feedback loop is productive. It's about taking action, evaluating your progress, and seeking more feedback to continue the cycle of growth. Sometimes feedback can challenge our identity. We all have a way we see ourselves, a version of who we think we are. But feedback can sometimes reveal gaps in that self-image. Maybe you thought you were an excellent communicator, only to find out that others perceive you as being unclear or intimidating. This can be a hard pill to swallow, especially if it goes against the narrative you've built for yourself. But rather than rejecting this feedback, see it as an opportunity to evolve. It's not about who you are right now. It's about who you are becoming. Use feedback to shift your perspective and grow into a more effective, more powerful version of yourself. One of the most valuable aspects of feedback is that it often uncovers blind spots, areas you may not even be aware of. We all have things we're good at and things we need to work on, but it's easy to overlook those weaknesses when you're focused on your strengths. Feedback forces you to face these blind spots, which is often uncomfortable but always necessary. Once you become aware of them, you can actively work to address them, which will accelerate your growth and development. When you receive feedback, remember that it is not a reflection of your worth as a person. It's not about you as an individual, but rather about how you can improve in specific areas. People who give you feedback should be doing so to help you grow, not to tear you down. If the feedback is constructive, it's because they see potential in you and want to see you succeed. When you approach feedback with this mindset, it becomes a tool for empowerment rather than criticism. Another key aspect of seeking feedback is learning how to ask for it effectively. Don't just ask vague questions like, "Do you think I'm doing well?" Instead, ask specific questions that will give you actionable insights. For example, you could ask, "What part of my presentation could be clearer?" Or "How can I improve my time management?" Specific questions will lead to more targeted and useful feedback. Don't be afraid to ask for examples or suggestions on how to improve. The more you know, the more equipped you'll be to act on that feedback. Lastly, feedback is most powerful when it's accompanied by a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities are not fixed, but can be developed through effort and learning. When you approach feedback with a growth mindset, you see it as an opportunity to learn, not a judgment of your current capabilities. You're not being told that you're inadequate. You're being shown the path to becoming more capable. This mindset allows you to take feedback in stride, learn from it, and continuously grow into the person you want to be. In the end, feedback is one of the most powerful catalysts for personal and professional growth. It helps you see the truth about where you are, where you're going, and what you need to do to get there. The more you seek it, embrace it, and use it to fuel your progress, the more rapidly you'll evolve into a better, stronger version of yourself. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback, and don't be afraid to take action based on it. Embrace feedback as the gift it is, and watch how it propels you to new heights. Chapter 20. Celebrate progress, no matter how small, to stay motivated. The truth is, too many of us wait for the big milestones before we allow ourselves to feel proud of the journey we've made. We only celebrate the major wins, thinking that anything less isn't worth acknowledging. But in reality, every step, no matter how small, deserves recognition. Every little progress is a victory, and by celebrating these small wins, we fuel our motivation to continue. This practice can transform your perspective, making the path to your goals not only more fulfilling, but far more sustainable. Success isn't an event, it's a process. It's a collection of moments, a series of steps forward. But if we only recognize the large, dramatic moments of progress, we miss the power of those small daily efforts. Every task you complete, every challenge you overcome, every new skill you master, these things matter. They move you forward, even when they seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Recognizing these little victories keeps the fire of motivation alive, helping you keep going when the road ahead feels long. One of the biggest traps we fall into is the idea that progress must always be monumental to be worth celebrating. We become obsessed with the big picture, the final result, and forget that the road to that place is built on countless small steps. When you get into the habit of celebrating each one of those steps, you're doing more than acknowledging your progress. You're reinforcing your belief in yourself. You're telling yourself that your efforts matter, no matter how small they seem at the time. This positive reinforcement builds momentum, creating a cycle of motivation that propels you forward. Every day presents an opportunity for growth, even if it's just a small improvement. A small victory, like finishing a task you've been putting off, reading a few pages of a book that helps you grow, or making a healthy decision, contributes to the overall success you're working toward. These actions may not feel monumental in the moment, but over time they add up. And when you celebrate them, you create a habit of focusing on progress rather than perfection, which can transform how you approach your goals. The act of celebrating progress, regardless of its size, shifts your focus from the end result to the journey itself. It allows you to appreciate where you are in the process, rather than fixating solely on where you want to be. This shift in mindset is crucial because it helps you stay present. Too often, we're either stuck in the past, regretting missed opportunities, or obsessing over the future, feeling overwhelmed by what's yet to come. Celebrating small victories brings you back to the present moment, reminding you that you are on the right path and that every step, even the smallest one, is progress. Celebration doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to involve big parties or grand gestures. It can be as simple as taking a moment to reflect and acknowledge the effort you've put in. It could be something as small as pausing to give yourself credit for completing a challenging task, giving yourself a small reward, or sharing your success with someone who supports you. The point is to make the celebration personal and meaningful to you. The act of celebration itself is what reinforces your progress and keeps you motivated. In the beginning, it might feel unnatural to celebrate the small steps. You might feel like you're not achieving enough, or that you're not where you want to be. But this is precisely why it's so important to start celebrating the small things. When you do, you shift your focus from what you haven't done to what you've already accomplished. This simple shift in perspective can have a profound impact on your motivation and mindset. It reminds you that growth is not always about rapid change. It's about consistent, incremental progress. Furthermore, celebrating progress helps to combat the negative inner voice that we all have. This voice often tells us that we're not doing enough, that we should be further along by now, or that we're failing in some way. By making a conscious effort to celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, you drown out that voice. You replace it with a voice of encouragement and self-appreciation. This shift from self-criticism to self-encouragement can have a powerful effect on your confidence and drive. The power of small wins is also tied to consistency. Consistency is the key to achieving long-term success. It's not about one big effort, it's about showing up day after day, putting in the work and taking small actions toward your goals. Each of these actions is a victory. By celebrating them, you reinforce the habit of consistency, which is the foundation of all lasting success. When you consistently celebrate even the tiniest achievements, you build a sense of pride in your work, which keeps you moving forward. It's like a positive feedback loop. Each celebration fuels the next one, making it easier to stay on track. Another benefit of celebrating progress is that it fosters gratitude. When you take the time to acknowledge your progress, you begin to see just how far you've come. This practice shifts your mindset from one of scarcity, feeling like you haven't accomplished enough, to one of abundance, where you recognize the value of every effort, no matter how small. You begin to see that every step forward is something to be thankful for, and this sense of gratitude fuels motivation and reinforces your drive to keep going. We're often conditioned to focus on what's next, what's still left to do, and how much further we have to go. While having long-term goals is important, it's equally important to celebrate the here and now. If you only focus on the end result, you'll miss the beauty of the journey itself. Success isn't just about crossing the finish line, it's about the small moments, the effort you put in, and the resilience you show along the way. By celebrating your progress, you honor the process, you show up for yourself, recognizing that every small step contributes to your bigger vision. Celebrating progress also encourages a positive mindset. It helps to break the cycle of perfectionism, which can often paralyze us. When we hold ourselves to unrealistic standards and only allow ourselves to feel good about the end result, we make it difficult to enjoy the process. By celebrating every step, you give yourself permission to feel good about the journey. You realize that you don't have to be perfect to be successful, you just have to keep moving forward. This habit of celebration also helps when setbacks occur. Progress is not always linear. There will be times when you stumble, fall short, or encounter obstacles. But celebrating the progress you've made, even during these times, helps you keep perspective. You recognize that one setback doesn't negate all the progress you've made. It's just a part of the process. Celebrating small wins gives you the strength to keep going when the path gets tough. It reminds you that success is about resilience, not perfection. And finally, celebrating progress encourages self-compassion. We often push ourselves hard, holding ourselves to high standards. But in doing so, we sometimes forget to be kind to ourselves. Celebrating small victories allows you to show compassion to yourself, recognizing that you're doing your best and that your efforts are valuable. This compassion fuels your motivation, helping you continue your journey with a sense of self-respect and understanding. So take the time to celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems. Every step forward is an achievement. Every effort counts. And by acknowledging this, you'll find that your motivation stays high, your confidence grows, and your drive to achieve your goals becomes unstoppable. Success isn't just about the big moments, it's about the small, consistent steps you take every single day.